Blessed love. His time is up, family. Blessed love. Welcome once again to Afua Speaks at Community Conversations. We've had like a 2-week hiatus and it just feels like ages. It feels like a lifetime. I've taken 2 weeks off before. Well, really, it's a week, isn't it? Because we're back on the second week. But I've done this before and I don't know why, but for some reason, maybe because it's the end of a season and the beginning of another, that, it just feels like forever, basically, and I feel a bit rusty on the controls. So bear with me tonight, people. Nice to see all the moderators in. Blessed love, Paula. All About the Black, I know is going to join us soon, as is Lioness Keeks and Rima Truth. I think you might be on your own for a little bit, Paula. So yeah, the long-anticipated story tonight, the big story tonight, is going to be the story of MC50. Now, for those of you that don't know MC50, you might not be of that generation. He is literally, blessed love, All About the Black, and Rima Truth. I see you guys. He is literally, MC50 is literally the godfather of jungle, of the whole jungle scene. Now, it is a particular age group that remembers jungle. You know, from probably around anyone in their kind of mid to late 30s all the way up to people in their 60s would remember the jungle scene. I used to chat on the jungle scene, and I've done a couple of things with Fivo back in the day. And he's somebody that I've known for a very long time, but we lost touch. And I now know why we lost touch, because he just kind of disappeared and I couldn't get hold of him. And then, life moves on, you change numbers, blah, 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 blah. And no, not drum and bass. There is a difference, MG. It's jungle. Drum and bass was the hijack version of the original jungle, which I'm sure he can testify to. Blessed love, Britain's got reggae. Excellent, sister. So yeah, I mean, look, it was massive in its time. After Lovers Rock, there wasn't really a Black British genre that was dominating anything. And then jungle came along and they used kind of fusions of, the African drama and reggae music and whatever. And a lot of the narratives and the style of chatting that went on over the jungle rhythms were very much inspired by reggae music before drum and bass hijacked it and named Goldie the king of drum and bass, which it happens all the time, doesn't it? Things come out of the grassroots. The reason it was called jungle was because of the concrete jungle that the MCs of that time, including MC50, were living in, in Hackney and wherever. It came deep out of East London. But he knows way more about the history than I do. I was a fan, as I said, before it got hijacked. So we're going to get to that. He's on his way into the studio pretty soon. He's not quite here yet. And I just wanted to kind of give you guys a few updates about what's been happening. And so on and so forth. It's been a really interesting week, to be fair, hasn't it? And it's certainly been an interesting 24 hours. But let's go back to the beginning of the week, which I believe is the 5th of September. And sorry, I need to plug my thing in because it doesn't look as if it's plugged in. Don't know what's happening here. Ugh, why is it charging? Oh, it's got to charge. My laptop's got to charge, otherwise we're going to have problems. I think I've got the wrong one plugged in. That's really what it's about. So give me 2 minutes, my brothers and sisters. Let's see if this works. Probably got the wrong plug in. Oh, don't know what's happening. Oh, we're on. We're good. We're good. But yeah, let's cast our minds back to the beginning of the week, my brothers and sisters, and the unlawful killing of a brother, Chris Kaba. Is it Kaba or Kaba? I don't quite know how to pronounce his name. I believe it could be Kaba. Let's talk about that a little bit, you know, because I don't know too much about it other than what I've read in the papers. I do know that there is going to be a march at Parliament Square tomorrow at 12 o'clock regarding that. I'm still deciding whether or not I'm going to go, because what I don't want to do is hurt myself with, you know, the part-time activists that only come out when there's a crowd, that only want to get on the mic and kind of have their voices heard when there's a crowd. You know, I've done that. I've been there. I've done that, and you know, I'm not very confident that this is going to enact any kind of change for us. We need to. There's nothing wrong with marching. I'm a big marcher. You know, I have my history with that, and rallying and stuff like that. And we're having a march ourselves, but that has to be followed up by some kind of administrative effort to try to get the powers that be to see what it is that we're saying. And oftentimes we just make a lot of noise in our community. You know, we don't actually follow through in terms of the legalities and trying to approach the judiciary or parliament or the powers that be to enact change. I'm a Pan-Africanist. So at the end of the day, my thing is, you know, they're always going to keep killing us. We are never going to be accepted here. I'm not into assimilating. I think we should just all go back and start to build back our ancestral home. That's what I believe as a Pan-Africanist. And I will always believe that, you know. But this brother, I'm telling you, this brother, it just feels like, for those of you that don't know, this is Chris Kaba. You can tell I've done the screenshot while I was driving because you can see a bit of my sat nav in the corner there. This is Chris Kaba, and he was shot by Brixton police, I do believe, on Monday the 5th of September. So literally just this week. There's a lot of noise being made about it. It is worthy of a mention. And, you know, why do we keep going through this is what I've got to say. It seems as if, as everything, we are going to be late across the pond to America, and we seem to be going that way. How long before they actually arm the police force for good? You know, how long before they actually do that? I really don't know. But my thing is that we've been fighting here now. I mean, how long have we been in our masses post-slavery? We've been here 80 years. I don't even know what it is since the Windrush. It's somewhere about that, 70 to 80 years. And it seems to be getting worse, not better. That's my thing. At what point are we going to come together and enact change if we're saying we're going to stay here? Because not everybody is a Pan-Africanist. Not everybody believes in Zion. Not everybody wants to go back to Africa. Some people clearly don't. You know, they're quite willing to stay here and fight for something. Black African Americans have been there for 400 and odd years, and it's just got worse. So for me, there are messages within that. What are we really fighting for? You know, why are we even here? We really should be putting our focus on taking the best that we can and rebuilding, whether it's in the Caribbean, whether it's in Africa, but rebuilding our ancestral home. That's what we need to be doing. You know, the Caribbean isn't ours. It belonged to a people that are now extinct because of the same powers that be. But it is a little taste of Africa. You know, our blood has been spilt on that soil heavily. So we do believe that, you know, as Marcus Garvey said, Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. And that's kind of what he meant. You know, we've got our lands that's accepted that that's ours. The Caribbean has become an extension of Africa, very much so. And luckily for us, over the African Americans, we have that culture. You know, we were able to hang on to that piece of Africa, whether we want to admit it or not. There's lots of Caribbean people that despise African people, which I just find really peculiar. But, you know, whether we like to admit it or not, we are African Caribbeans, as they call us. We're not an ethnic minority, only in this country, because actually people of color outnumber others 11 to 1 in the globe. So even the term is about trying to Marcus never stepped in Africa. He didn't get the chance to do that. You have to remember they didn't have aeroplane flights as popular as they are now. People flew by ship and what have you. And the guy had a lot of work to do within the diaspora, didn't he? So it wasn't about, just jetting off on a plane to Africa in those days. You know, this man was prominent in the 1920s to the 1940s when most people couldn't even afford a plane flight, much less. And in fact, commercial travel, I don't believe was even that established in 1940 when he died. So he never quite made it, unfortunately. He was cut down in his prime, as usual, and died penniless and forgotten in England. And the Caribbean government actually did not bring him home, his body home, until I think 1960 something. And then they put him on the money. Different story for different days. But at the end of the day, my brothers and sisters, you know, we need as a people to stand up. And the other thing I want to point out as well is that, you know, a lot of people have said, oh, your page is about sexual abusers and predators and what have you and what not. But at the end of the day, people seem to forget that I am a social commentator. I am an activist, amongst other things. And I have been doing that for 30 odd years. The His Time Is Up campaign is literally 2 years old. It's not even quite 2 years yet. It'll be 2 years in November. So I've been speaking about subjects that affect our community for years. If you look back in my page, what you will see is probably not a lot of activity, but what you will see is posts that pertain to what's going on in our community. And actually, I reserve the right to talk about what I want on my page. You know, I don't know where to go with the Chris Kaba thing. I keep saying Chris Kaba. It is Chris Kaba, yes. Bad with names. It's atrocious. It can't be allowed to happen. Yes, we do need to stand up, but I don't believe that we are together enough as a community to really make that impact. You know, even when you talk about the George Floyd protests and what have you, it wasn't the Black community stood up. Of course it did, but the world community stood up, which quite right they should do. But that's what swelled the numbers. If it was down to British Black people alone, I don't think there would have been this massive turnout in Parliament Square in the way that it was. We are the most apathetic people within the diaspora. We really, really are. They can pretty much get away with anything, and we'll just roll over and take it in the name of assimilation and fitting in. And I've traveled to a lot of places. You know, we are the most apathetic people in the diaspora. When I say in the diaspora, I'm talking America, the Caribbean, Brazil, wherever you will find descendants of African people, we are the most apathetic Black British people. And that's a fact. If anyone wants to disagree with me, they're quite welcome to do that. But I know what I see. Yes, Kaba was a drill rapper, so I'm told. I don't know anything about drill whatsoever. I don't think I care to know anything about drill too much. But what I do know, it's quite a violent genre of music. And there's lots of stories coming out. The police are always going to try to find some dirt when they've done wrong on particular individuals. But does that mean that a public servant in a force that is unarmed and never been armed in history is per se, obviously they have armed units, but they've never been armed, the British police force, does that give them the right to shoot a man down who is unarmed in such a cold-blooded way? No, it does not. No, it does not. There's no evidence that he's killed his own. He may rap about it. Lots of people rap about it. You know, lots of people create a persona for themselves within music, acting, whatever it is, within the entertainment industries. But it doesn't mean that that's who they are. It is a role. It's an act. You know, it would be a little bit like saying, I don't know, try to think of a baddie, but, you know, an actor that plays a dark character, that's who that person is. It is not necessarily who they are. I don't agree with drill music. I think it's highly damaging. I really don't agree with drill music. I think it's highly damaging, and I think that our young people could do without it. I do think it has a bearing on the level of violence that goes down in our community. But at the end of the day, that does not give the police a right to shoot us down. And I guarantee you, if that was a white person that had been in a car that flagged up, apparently, that said that it had been involved in something, they would have been surrounded by the police and they would have been brought in safely and probably not dead. It just feels like Mark Duggan all over again. Only this time they cannot lie and say that, he had a gun, which is what they tried to do with Mark Duggan, who had loads of form. He was from an area where it's pretty hard not to have form, to be fair. Does it highlight the connection that his crew has to crime? And yeah, you say you're not making excuses for them. I hate when people do that. I'm not making excuses, but it highlights the connection his crew has to crime. Really, we should be tackling these things. It shouldn't take for the racist police officers to shoot a black man on sight because in their mind, he's a big bogeyman, and it's just easy to squeeze the trigger. Shouldn't take for that to happen for us to tackle these young people that have got connections to crime. We should be doing this as a community anyway. Do you understand? That's my point. The black on black violence that takes place, that should be getting tackled anyway. We've kind of reserved ourselves to it. But the live isn't about that tonight. So I'm not going to crack on too much about that. I wanted to just pick up on a few pointers. And also, what's happened in the last 24 hours. Had some interesting comments, I should say. It wasn't a backlash. Most people kind of enjoyed what I was putting up about the monarch that has passed. I won't say Queen because it's not mine. And as I say, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I deal with all things that are related to Africa and my African ancestors. I know my history. I am woke. And like Dr. Umar Johnson said, Black people have no place in this mourning. Anyone according to Dr. Umar Johnson, any Black person that wants to mourn should be committed. He believes that they've got mental illness. I say that we've been so dumbed down as to our history and to the horrors that was caused by this particular family. Because let's not forget that there could not have been a slave trade unless the ancestors of this monarch that passed sanctioned it. It was France, it was Spain, it was Portugal, it was England, and England became the dominant force within that. How do we forget that? The Jewish community are encouraged, and quite rightly so, never to forget their Holocaust. But we don't even recognize our suffering as a Holocaust. We don't. The fact that we have this severance from our African forebears as well, this kind of collective shame, and Belgium that was put in. Well, Belgium actually was less about slavery, my sister, and more about neo-colonialism, which I'll get onto in a minute. The Netherlands and Belgium became part of that neo-colonialist effort. You understand? So the point of the matter is that why should we mourn? Nobody mourn for our ancestors. Nobody mourn for our kingdoms and our royal families that were utterly violated and destroyed in the process of these colonial powers. Nobody mourned for them, certainly not in this country. Do you understand? So for me personally, as a descendant, and I feel my ancestors deeply, I have no place mourning for anybody. I am not reveling in the death of anyone, but at the same time, well, actually I am a little bit, but I could go into that in a whole nother live. The point of the matter is, okay, it's not the individual, it is what they represent. And this is about the end of something. People just think, well, she's died. That's it. You understand me? It's a whole lot more than that. A whole lot more than that. Swat up. Know your history. Get woke. That's what I need to say to people. And, at the end of the day, I put something up about our ancestors on Instagram earlier on. And there was a woman who was white who rolled her eyes. She put the roll eyes emoji up, and I went off at her in the comments on Instagram because how dare you? How dare you? If we choose to recall at this particular time all of the death and destruction that has been caused by that establishment towards our people, how dare you, as the opposite, come into our space and roll your eyes. And then somebody said something about being the angry black person. Do you see the covert racism? Because I do. Now, at the end of the day, when are we going to have a space where it is just for us to be able to express ourselves without people who are not of this community having commentary? It's not, who feels it knows it. There was a particular brother, and I do class him as a brother. He's a cool brother. He's a white guy who came into the comments earlier on and was saying, it's going to damage your cause. You need to be respectful. It would be good if you did. I'm paraphrasing. Those weren't his exact words, but that was the spirit of what he was trying to say to me. Don't talk about the Queen tonight because you're going to lose supporters. When are people going to realize, for me, it's not about the numbers. It's not about the numbers. It's about the message. Now, at the end of the day, I speak to those who want to hear at the end of the day. So I will talk about the Queen, and I'll talk about the Queen in the context of the royal family. I don't know that individual at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there was a suggestion that, many Black British people respect the Queen and you're going to lose supporters. And I just thought this is completely not from our perspective, and there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. There's nothing wrong with the brother having his opinion. But at the end of the day, it's not from the perspective of the Black community. It can't be, because that person isn't a member of the Black community. They have an affinity with the Black community. They emulate our culture, but they are not of our community. You're not in the household. How will you know what's going on in somebody's house unless you live in that house, unless you were grown in that house? You may have a cross section of people that may have an opinion, but at the end of the day, who feels it knows it. And I don't lose any tears over that establishment. Let's talk about the missing Native Canadian children who never came back after a royal visit. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Look it up. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is absolute facts. Absolute facts. Let's talk about that. At the end of the day, the only memory that I want people to remember is this with the Queen. The moment when she entered the true divine court of Ethiopia and had to bow to the true royal family, which is Emperor Haile Selassie and his queen consort, Empress Menen. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, follow that if you don't know about it. That is Queen Elizabeth. You can see the back of her head. And she had to bow to the African court, because that court, that throne, is through the lineage of King David and King Solomon. And true kingship is supposed to be spiritual. It's it's not about kind of succession necessarily. It's about how much you serve God, in our realms. That's the image I want everybody to remember when it comes on to that particular monarch. Because let's not forget, we can talk about slavery. Okay, fine. That was her ancestors against our ancestors. That's fine. But what about neo-colonialism? What about everything that happened after that? This is the queen of neo-colonialism, the Commonwealth, where the wealth is not common at all. It's about bolstering England post-slavery. What about that? We're still waiting for 50 to come into the studio. Don't know what's happened to him. Let me try and find out, brothers and sisters, because I could just go on and on all night about this issue and this topic. If my views are so far out there, why have we got African heads of state such as Joseph, oh God, I always forget that brother's name, from the ANC in South Africa, encouraging people not to mourn? So many African leaders, so many Black leaders across the world are reminding us of what these people have done to us. I'm going to play a clip for you guys. Actually, yeah, that'll give me a chance to get 50 in the studio. So I'm going to play a clip because I want you to understand, my brothers and sisters, why I say the things I say, and the fact that my memory, is not tainted at all. And it's, the things that have happened are in living memory. It's people that are still affected by the things that happened in post-slavery colonies, so to speak, So This clip that I'm going to show you guys is something that I came across today, actually. And I thought this is brilliant. I was kind of looking for things that pertain to what I'm talking about. And this one came up because it perfectly illustrates. It's about the genocide of the Kikuyu people during the Kenya's struggle for liberation from British colonial rule. Now, this was in the 1950s. Do you understand? This isn't long ago. This is since Queen Elizabeth's reign that this actually happened. And I don't know. I don't really want to have a conversation with anybody that is going to try to tell me that I have to forget these things, because nobody tells the Jews that they need to forget the Holocaust. But suddenly we have to forget and see it as being in the past when it comes onto slavery and neo-colonial atrocities. It's absolutely disgraceful. I got my junglist in the room. Blessed love, give me 5 fives. See what I did there? Pardon the pun. So let me play this video. It's literally not very long. It's 2 minutes 23. And then tell me what you're saying about mourning, because it's serious.
The Second World War, there was an uprising by the Kikuyu people who wanted their land back. The Kikuyu were herded into concentration camps and fortified villages, almost the entire population of over 1 million people. People were systematically tortured to death. They invented a new kind of pliers whose purpose was first to crush men's testicles and then to cut them off. They raped women with bayonets. They raped men. Similarly, a favourite technique was to ram sand up the rectum with a stick. Sometimes they were rolled up in barbed wire and kicked around the compound until they bled to death. Some of the British soldiers boasted about this. This is within living memory. The Colonial Secretary lied about it. The papers documenting it were burnt. The impact of the rich and powerful nations has been so phenomenally murderous and destructive that it has been completely airbrushed from our national consciousness. In order to justify the land-grabbing colonial projects, you had to create an ideology. We, the Europeans or the Americans, have come to rescue the rest of the world from its depravity and backwardness. But in order to do that, you have to be able to demonstrate that the rest of the world is depraved and backward. From this arose the racism that is still with us today. It was a necessary component of the colonial project. Some people might claim, well, okay, we broke a few eggs to make this omelette. It's as if all those human beings were eggs. But look at the omelette. Isn't it fantastic? Look, we made this fantastic omelette. Forget about all that unpleasant stuff and let's just celebrate where we are. Where we are is a continuation of the project. We commodified people's land and people's labour and turned it into our property. We're also destroying the rest of the living world alongside it. We don't have to be like this. We are the same human beings as anybody else. We're all part of the same big human family. We just have to recognise that, accept that. And of course, within Western countries, there are plenty of brilliant people resisting colonisation, both internal colonisation within our own countries and external colonisation of other people's countries. For the Second World War, there was an uprising by the Kikuyu people who wanted their...
Sorry, a bit of a glitch there, my brothers and sisters, but you know, that's just a tiny snippet of why I feel the way that I do. I am not going to forget that. I will never forget that. In the same way as I keep saying that the Jewish community drum into their children never to forget the Holocaust, I drum into mine never to forget the transatlantic slave trade and neo-colonialism that followed. The massacre of the Kikuyu people was just one thing. You had the Mau Mau. I could go on, as I say. It was just one thing that happened. But the fact that they had footage of that shows you how recent it is. And that was within that monarch's rule, the monarch that has just passed. It was within their time. And what a lot of people don't know as well is that they kept the bones of the Mau Mau and they kept the bones of the leaders of the Kikuyu revolution. And they only why would the British government do that and the monarchy keep the bones? What's all that about? You know, I know what it's about, but I'm not going to go into it today. And those bones were only returned during COVID in 2020. You know, how would it be this Monica's passed, if we decided as African nations to invade this little small island, okay, capture this monarch's bones and keep them for 100 years, how would that look? What would that be about? Witchcraft, there we go. But what would that be about? I don't even care if they take this down. I kind of do, actually. I don't want 50's story to disappear, but I'll re-upload his part if they ever do. I say what I need to say. And at the end of the day, if anyone doesn't like it, jump off. Jump off. That's what I say to people, because we speak to people that want to hear. But anyway, my brothers and sisters, just wanted to address that. Also wanted to address the fact that I got contacted by the Black Awards because there's been another complaint that says that I should be denominated. And, the Black Awards have to follow their own protocols and their own complaints procedure, which gives me right to reply. So, yes, of course, I've been informed about that. But at the end of the day, will you people please leave the Black Awards alone? You're too bad mind. This is very personal. It's somebody that's being personal about something. And I don't know why they keep going for the Black Awards. At the end of the day, as the Black Awards have said, it is I'm being nominated not just for the His Time Is Up campaign, but for all the work that I've done in the community over the past 30 odd years. Get over it and deal with it. It's as simple as that. I haven't had any misconduct. I haven't killed anybody. I'm simply voicing my opinions, outing my own abuse and abuser. And I have every right to do that. So if you don't like it, don't watch. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Wanted to talk about that. The rest of the updates, I'm going to leave until next week, because I am now being joined by MC50, the junglist. Absolute legend, my brother.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, my beloved sister.
How you doing?
I'm great, my sister. I'm alive. I'm living. But before we start, do you mind if I burn a bit of sage, Scar, just to bless ourselves with a bit of sage?
Absolutely, brother.
You know
Absolutely.
What I mean, sister? So we're going on enough of the wicked out there, sir. Once they're watching, viewing this show, they want to wish ill vibes between ourselves, and that will never transmit.
Mm-hmm.
So I bless myself with sage. There you go, my beloved sister. You too said we'll get blessed up. You know what I mean? This is how we roll, my dear. You know what I'm saying? Because in life, a lot of it is about energies and spirits. And, sometimes we succumb to some of those things through our lives, and what brings us to the position of where we are today. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, my beloved, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. It's so good to be back in touch with you. I was just telling the people that we lost touch for a while, and now I know why. Because of what happened, right? I'm just, I wish I was around at the time.
We're here now.
I'm here now, my brother. I'm here now. And the thing is, you got the customary fan.
Customary geisha. What do you mean?
50
man, come on now. Themes, you know me. I'm about themes.
But my brother, you are a legend in terms of British music. And I don't believe that you've ever been given your flowers. I think there's been a lot of bad mind and jealousy against you, my brother. And I feel that what people are about to share, what you're about to share with everybody, is part of that jealousy and that envy. You're a big character. You've made an indelible mark on the jungle scene, and lots of people would love to hold that crown, right?
There's only one crown, and I'm me of it. There's only one crown, and I'm me of it. The public, not myself. I've never called myself the Godfather at MC Jungle. That wasn't me. That was the general public. And if people want to confirm it, they can type into Google, and Google says it. So if Google's saying it and the general public says it, I'm happy to embrace that. They bestowed that on me. The general public bestowed that title on me.
One thing I know about you, Fives, you're a confident guy, but you're also a very humble guy. And people don't really see that side of you, or they don't perceive that side of you, really, do they? But you are a very humble individual, and a very respectful brother as well. That's been said. You've had a lot of love on the page.
Thank you. Thank you to your viewers.
A lot of love on the page, and you're getting a lot of love in the chats as well. What's interesting about tonight for us here on Afua Speaks Community Conversations, my brother, is that we've had a brother come on before that told his story of abuse. Sure. And you know, that big up my brother Jay. And no, Jay, I haven't forgot about the email. I've just been, every time I go to do something else flies in the middle. Please bear with me, brother. I haven't. And also Claire, I've got 2 emails that I should have sent months ago that they wanted me to send them, and I just haven't got around to it. So I apologize for that, guys. But yeah, we had one brother that came on to speak about his own story of abuse, but we've never had a brother come on to talk about being wrongly accused of rape, you know, and I think it's a really important story. What makes me laugh is that all the detractors have been like, oh, Afua's a man hater. She's a manslayer. She's this, she's that. She only cares about the women. And the minute I put on a story about the flip side of the coin, I'm told, oh, well, because it's a white woman, that's the only reason. Now you're racist.
First and foremost,
please these people. You really can't.
First and foremost, let me just say this. I'm going out to your viewers at this very moment. You had not sought me out in order for this story. I came to you, you know, bringing forward my story. Mm-hmm. Now, what this interview that we're conducting is the first time in 10 years that is spoken about this in the terms of, you know, the full transparency of exactly the time of what went down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the night of the time where everything went down. And as I said, why I sit here before you, as I said, my heart. God sees our heart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people can also see that. Now, you said the 19 question. Where do you want to start? Where would you like to start, my beloved sister? Where would you like to start?
Well, we start at the beginning, brother. I just to point out as well is that what you said, you know, you approach me. That is how all the stories come out on this.
Contrary to what everybody thinks.
I am not a roving reporter. I'm not an investigative journalist. I don't run around looking for stories. All of the testimonies and the stories come to me. As I just said to yourself and to all of your viewers and all your followers, yeah, Afua did not seek out this story, contrary to what those who want to think or whatever they want to think. Afua had not seek out this story. This is my story, where when I had the opportunity to come across Afua through my beloved sister, Miss Serlene Braithwaite of Britain's Got Reggae. This is how this is aligned and how we are where we are now. Because we must.
I brought that story to you. You know, I wholeheartedly brought this story to you because for the first time for me, this. Let me just say this to the viewers. This here is not an explanation. Mm-hmm. Here, what you are going to be hearing this evening is a clarification. Yeah. Right. All right. So people, please make the distinction between an explanation and a clarification. There is nothing for me to explain. The British judiciary dealt with that. This is just a clarification to put this whole shit straight, because there was a great deal of condescending words, a great deal of hypothesis. There was hatred, my brother. There was a lot of hatred that came your way. Can I just clarify something, Five? Sure. We lost touch for nearly 12 years, didn't we? Great. That's what it was. You said to me when we, and it was, as you said, Sister Serlene, who has been a friend of this campaign for the last year. Yeah. It was her that kind of made the connection and thought, hold on, you need to come here. And that caused us not realizing, I think, or maybe she realized from your standpoint that we had been friends previously. No, Sister Serlene had no idea. And when Serlene was saying to me that she was liaising with you, I said to her, I said, Serlene. No, he was on the phone. He was on the phone, and I said, just say to Afua, 50. That's all you need to say. As soon as you when Serlene said, because I'm like, I've been looking for him. I don't know what happened. What happened is that you went on remand for this. Yes, and here's lost the thing touch with everybody. Yeah, let's reel it back to the beginning, brother. Yes, please. Let's do this. Take us back to the 19th question. How this all began. Okay, so let's start. Yeah, okay. I'm going to some water just so I can just get my saliva up. Yeah. Okay. So the 19th question. Okay. Oh, and before we start, let me just get this out of the way, because we need to. As I said, what we're speaking about.
While you're ordering your thoughts, Fivo, I'm just going to flash up a picture of who we're talking about, because some people haven't got Instagram. And for those of you that don't have Instagram, the person who wrongly accused this brother here was this individual, Michelle Jones of Bedfordshire. You know, in the same way that we would show perpetrators, we are showing this woman. I've always said, if we get a case like this, then this person who is wrongly accused of brother would be dealt with in exactly the same way as a perpetrator would. You understand? And you being a victim, you are believed on this platform like any other woman would be believed as well. You know, and actually, we've got way more evidence. I have a whole. Let me just take this picture.
Transcript.
I have
the position papers.
Bundle going on here. I don't know if everyone can see this. Yeah.
The position papers.
Bundle, which I just couldn't even get all of it.
All the trial scripts.
Live and whatever.
You have the trial
I think we might do a further live of question and answer where I'll be able to do that on the members only. I know that you'd be willing to come on and do that, brother, at a later date. But I've seen the evidence, or the lack of it, should I say. I've seen the lack of evidence. And it just, you know, even when we're reading the police statement of this woman and whatever, it just doesn't make any sense to me. There's so many discrepancies, which you're going to go on to highlight. But take us back to the beginning, brother.
Okay. So the 19th question, it was, I'm sure it was October 2011. So my last son, he's 12 years of age. So I go to his mother's house. So I like to do his homework. She's at work. So I've gone to her home. So when my 12-year-old son comes home, get down with his homework, give him his dinner, you know, bathe him up, change him up. No, he bathes himself, make sure that he's in bed by a particular time. And that was that. So the same night now, so I fell asleep. So when my son's mother came home, I was asleep. Now on the night, I was picked up, and I'm saying it straight talk. I don't business who it offends, and I'm going to call out this man's name because he's trying to deny the fact like he doesn't know anything about it. But I'm just saying straight here, live, straight up, transparency and truth. On the night, a DJ named Uncle Doug's picked me up from my son's mother's house that night, pretty much tired. He was playing out, I wasn't. So I in terms of moral support. So we've gone along. Now we've gone to the O2 Arena. The O2 Arena. Yeah. Okay. And once we're at the O2 Arena, the event, the name of the event was called Epidemic. Yeah. So Uncle Doug, he's playing in the second room. So I've gone there with him. He's playing his music and whatnot. And I said, listen, I'm gonna go outside and go and buy my spliff. Yeah. So I come out in the O2 Arena. So I've gone outside to the smoking area. So I'm just there, just smoking my weed and whatnot. This same woman has come up in a kind of, in a wavy kind of way, but she's with another young boy, so to speak. Not a young man, but a young boy. So he looks boyish. So while she's there with this young boy, so to speak, she's all up in me, coming over to me. Now she's putting her hands all over my chest and all over my genitalia. This is what this woman's doing. So, yes, I'm going to straight up. Yes, it did arouse me. You know, it did arouse me. And she's got this little boy. So she's on me, trying to get me aroused. I'm like, yo, it's easy off because I'm with my mate. She won't have it. So she comes along, holds on to my hand, trying to get away from this young boy, so to speak. So now I'm like, as I said, I'm aroused. So I'm thinking with my genitalia and not with this. So we go with each other consentingly, we both go together. She's an adult, she's a woman of 45 years of age. We go consentingly in the O2 Arena. Now, we have to go past security checks. So we have to go past 3 security checks, I believe. This is in the O2 Arena in order to get to the stage area. Yeah. Even me as an artist have to take a check from the security, which I have no qualms with. Myself and this Michelle Jones have gone through the security check. We're talking from the dance floor to the door to the entry in order to get to the stage. Come through the door, and there is another 2 security in order for you to get to the stage in the O2 Arena. So now, for those who's ever been to O2 Arena, but for those who've never been up close and personal like me, because I performed there, they have toilets on the stage for artists. So myself and this woman, we go past the security. There's no fighting. We both go consentingly. We've gone into the toilet consentingly on the stage of O2 Arena. Let me emphasize this. In the O2 Arena, we've both gone inside the bathroom, locked the door, doing the boom, 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 bam, done. Yeah. So come out, saying, we go consently come out, we pass the same security checks we've gone through. So she's gone on her way.
Sorry, can I just say, I've just got to cut you a minute there, Fives. Janice Spence, this is not a morality exercise. It's not about morality. It's not about whether they had sex in the toilets or not. It's whether or not the act of rape was committed, and that's it. We've got somebody called Truth Matters in the chat as well that's got a lot to say. I'm going to put the link out, Truth, whatever your name is. As Empress Keats just pointed out, you're in the chats every week chatting a bag of things. So we'll put the link out. You say that you're going to bring victims and that this man is prolific. Do that. We'll put the link out a little bit later on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it right now.
What, this man here? They're talking about me.
We'll deal with it. Rods.
With me. What?
Tell your story, and we're going to deal with it later because I'm going to put the link out. Let them come and say it live.
Cool.
Okay?
It's cool. It's cool.
All right.
It's
Continue.
Cool.
You went into the toilets.
So we went to the toilet. We've done that. We got done our thing. She's gone about her way. I've gone about my way. So now myself and Uncle Doug is leaving the O2 Arena. So I say to him, I say to Doug, boy, you know something, brother? Boy, you're not gonna believe what happened with me, bro. So I make it show him where this is what went down. Okay, so we go home. That's it. This is it. Okay, she's asked for my number. Yeah, this woman's asked for my number.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, this is all consensual. Yeah, all consensual.
So basically, just to backtrack, she's come onto you. She's literally felt you. She's put her hands on your genitalia and whatever.
Well, my chest, my genitalia, and she's with somebody else. She's with a young boy, kind of man, is boyish. She's with somebody else. Yeah, and approaching me. Yeah, I'm just there by myself, running a spliff at O2 Arena. But anyway, as I said, so that's happened. That's gone. Now this happened in, as I said, 2011. It's consensual what we had in 2011. Now, 18 months later, I am in Bethnal Green Road. Now it comes into 2012, leading up to the London Olympics.
Okay.
Right.
So if I turn my camera off, I'm still with you, okay?
So yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm on Bethnal Green Road, and it's the start of the Olympics. Anyway, so as I enter a shop in order to have an Oyster card because I'm traveling by public transport. So I go into a shop in order to top up my Oyster. Go into the shop, top up my Oyster. As I turn around, I see the white guy and an Asian guy come up to me and say to me, "Excuse me, is your name this and that?" They have not shown no identification. As far as I am concerned, these could be two people just roll up on me and want to pull up on me or whatnot.
So this is a year after the fact.
This is 18 months after. 18 months. Yeah. So when they come, they said to me, is this your name? I said, "Brother, who the fuck are you? Move from me." So I brushed past these men, like push them, like move. Don't fucking touch me. Move from me. Who the fuck are you? Yeah. So by the time he's like that, they went boom. Then they flashed their warrant card. That's when they flashed their warrant card, saying, "Yeah, is your name?" That's what we're talking about. And they went, "Bam, yeah, you fit this description, bam, bam, bam. This is where your name will be arresting you under suspicion of the allegation of rape." Allegation. Yeah. Okay. So if that happens, go. Police station. From that, my solicitor. I'll get in touch with my solicitor. Going out to Mr. Palace. Yeah, Mr. Harold Palace. Yeah. Big up Mr. Harold Pies. Big up that firm there. All day, every day, and twice on a Sunday. Yeah, hear me? Straight up. Yeah? So with that now, I mean the thing. My solicitor comes and I don't give no comment. I'm got no comment. Brief there, no comment. Anyway, so we go to Bexley Court. And really and truly, it should have really been dealt with on the east side. But because of the start of the Olympics, they moved it, they had it in Bexley Heath. So once it's in Bexley, I'm thinking, okay, it's just gonna be it's a magistrate. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, cool. I'm just gonna get this. They're gonna have to bail me my briefs there, and I'm gonna be out there and just cool, yeah. And through that time, me and my barrister will just and go through whatever's we have to go through. Anyway, so bam, they revoke bail and remand me to custody in 2012 of July. Remand me in custody. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? What?
With that level of evidence, brother, I believe that if you were not a black man, you would never have been remanded.
Let me say something. If I was in America, I would have done dead. Yeah, if you're in America, for that, like Emmett Till, I would have done dead. Yeah? So anyway, so now I'm remanded in custody and I'm remanded to Hell Marsh, not Belmarsh. Sorry. Not Belmarsh, Hell Marsh. Hell, you hear me? Get to the viewers. Yeah, it's called hell. If anybody's never had no experience of having to go to the Iron Curtain, you need to just shut the fuck up and don't talk nothing. Yeah, don't talk shit and don't be coming on Afua.
Not too much cursing.
No, Afua, I'm just a bit, because it evokes things in me. Those very things. I'm not trying to relive this life here. I'm not trying to relive those times. But as I said, I'm just telling you my story. Yeah, because I'm man enough. I'm courageous enough and transparency and honest enough to come and speak my thing on your platform. Yeah, bugger man ain't prepared to come on your platform and speak this way with heart. None of them. They can put shit. They can type up with the window warriors and the keyboard warriors up in the comments. Cool. Unless you're prepared and come up front. Yeah, and man up. Yeah, and come true and say that I'm whatever you want to say. Cool. Don't bother with it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm in Hellmarsh. So I'm going to Hellmarsh of July 2012. So this is hell. The only other time I've ever done any custodial time was when I was in Strange Ways. Yeah, in 2008. Strange Ways, yeah?
That's up in Manchester, right?
What? Now tell you some hardcore. Listen, y'all. Listen, those are the only 2 times of my lifetime I have been in the
and I've also got within this bundle your criminal record.
You got all my criminal record there, sister.
I've got everything.
You have everything about it. Listen, there's no skeletons in my cupboard. There's no skeletons in my cupboard whatsoever. Yeah, nothing in my cupboard. My thing is out there. And as I said, if it's me, I'll tell you straight, it's me. I ain't gonna try to say, wait, nah, I don't play that game. I don't live that way. My heart's not that way. My heart's that way. My heart is not that way. So anyway, so I'm in Hellmarsh. I get there. Now I'm in custody with Gary Dobson. Gary Dobson got convicted for the killing of Stephen Lawrence. Yeah. So I've gone in there. Him and the other guy. I can't remember the other, the co-defendant with him. I can't remember his name. So we're there in Hellmarsh. So I go into the induction, and I'm on house block 3. So I go there. They give you your reference books and all the stuff, how the jail should run and how prison should run. Now, when I go through this thing here, and it's talking about each and every house block and the type of inmates that they house. When I saw house block 1 on my pamphlet, house block 1 houses murderers, lifers, man who's been 50, 40, 20, 25 years on this house block, That's all there is on this house block. So and the other blocks was kind of all house block too. But none of it's cool. Hell is Hellmarsh. No part of Hellmarsh or no part of prison life is any good. Yeah. None of it. Yeah, I'm not a person about those things. I've been acquainted or even apart that sort of stuff. I'm fortunate for myself through my decisions and my choices that led me to those things, and I'm culpable for that. Yeah, I'm the one who's culpable. I'm the one who's responsible, and I'm the one who is accountable. When I was bar, I was like, wait, was this? It was that. Nah, that is me. I'll stand on my shit. As I said, I can stand tall on my things. You hear me? I can stand tall on my thing. Hence why I'm in front of your camera, my sister, going out to your lovely, beautiful, great audience. Yeah. So I'm in Hellmarsh. So we've
currently got 467 watching on this live.
You know what? For me, my sister, it's not about who's watching for me. As I say, this is something that I brought to you, and I'm bringing it forth to the more masses. This is going to the world. This is the first ever time. Yeah, you're getting the full facts of exactly and transparency of what went down. I ain't holding shit back because I'm here. Yeah, there's nothing for me to hold back. Nothing. And ain't no one going to hold me back. So anyway, so I'm in Hellmarsh now of 2012. Now, when I get allocated to house block 1, the very same house block, where I'm thinking, oh my days, I'm here on the allegation of rape. And I'm going to the murderers block. You're killers. 50 years, 40 years, 30, some horrendous, heinous crimes some of these inmates have committed. And I'm going to that house block in GP. I'm in GP. I'm in the protection in a PC wing in a GP. That's where I am, in GP, with those allegations of a charge. So nobody don't come up and we don't you get talk to and chat to me. Yeah, straight. So anyway, so I'm there now. Now, yourself, Afua, you've been to the Iron Curtain. The Iron Curtain. And for those who's ever been to the Iron Curtain, you'll know about these experiences if you've ever visited the Iron Curtain.
Especially when you're in there for something you haven't done.
Straight up. All right. So you know and I know, and anyone else who's ever been into the Iron Curtain knows this. When you're within the Iron Curtain, man want to know what's your crime, what you're here for. Yeah?
No one ain't entertaining.
All right. But everyone wants to know, everybody wants to know what's your crime. Everyone wants to know what you're here for. When man asked me, I told man straight, look here, I'm here on the allegation of rape. I just told the man then, one time. And then the guy asked me, I said the same thing. I said the same thing to each and every man. Now, as I said, it's bare lifers on my wing. We got John, big up our man, that's Matic. Some big up the man, them Lee DJ, big up all them man of House Black One, big up Sean, big up Big J, I tell you, I met more honest people and more loving people in the Iron Curtain than out a road. More honest. Yeah, more honest people. Anyway, so now each inmate's asking what I'm here for. So, as you know, you have my papers in front of you. All my full trial transcripts. You have everything there. Yeah, from jail, from court. You have everything in front with you, my beloved sister. You have everything there. In writing, all there. So, those very same debt papers, getting that to the viewers, the debt papers in as abbreviation is for deposition papers, which happens to be your papers for trial. So getting that to the viewers, it's your papers for trial. Now, when you're in the Iron Curtain, especially if you're on a certain house block, I don't know how it goes, a certain house, but on this house block, man's asking, boy, I need to go and see your debt papers. Those very same papers that you had in your possession, my beloved sister Afua, every inmate on my house block, every lifer read those documents that's in your possession right now. Every lifer. Man, do not take no check for any allegation of rape.
One thing I can tell you as somebody that's worked in the prison system, that if they can't put you on the numbers, which they can't do when you're on remand. It's only people. Hold on a minute, it's only people that have been convicted that will go on the numbers. When you're not on the numbers, in order to protect you, they would normally give you fake decks. which says that you knocked a policeman's helmet off or something. That's why you're in there.
You have my debt papers.
You're able to show your full decks.
Exactly. You have my debt papers. Afua. You have the full debt papers. Those are the very same deposition papers that every lifer on my house block read. Every one of them. Some serious lifers. They got some heinous crimes. What? Remember what? Are some of the man? Imagine that. I'm on an allegation of rape in Hellmarsh. Any given thing at any given time, if one inmate had an inkling or didn't have a vibe for me, I could have got served up. Could you imagine? Man just come up there and come and shank me. Man could just come up anytime. Boom, boiling hot sugar water, blam in my face if they wanted to. I could be getting out of my bed in the morning to man outside my cell door to weigh me in. To weigh me in if they felt that way inclined. But you see what it is, as I said to those who have never been to the Iron Curtain. Yeah, let me say this. Let me just say this. In the Iron Curtain, such as you've been there for a while, people, you are stripped down. The only thing you have when you're in the Iron Curtain, no matter what you got out here, that don't mean jack diddly out here. The only thing you have when you're in an environment such as that, the only thing you have is your heart. Your heart and your soul and your being.
Absolutely. Very quickly, Carol, Truth Matters messages are not being deleted. Follow it back in the chat if you want to see what he's saying or she's saying. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Go ahead.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about none of all of that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't concerned about it. But anyway, so as you know, in the Iron Curtain, when it comes to being on those environments and those institutions, these lifers have all experience of meeting other inmates. When a lifer is doing a life, he's moving around to every other jail around the country.
Absolutely.
They're getting the experience of who's what and what not. And listen, these guys, some of these guys and some of you women in those places, man, I tell you, there should be body language experts. This is why they never give us law books or the theobalds, where you can only go to the library and write that stuff. Yeah, because as I said, our brain clicks on. We end up being lawyers. I said we learned so much about the law. I learned so much about the law in there that I knew out here. So anyway, the papers have been read by every inmate. Okay, so now
I can see that with the level of because you've got kind of, I don't know if anyone can see that, but it's really hard to show it that way. I'm going to try and screenshot them. We're going to do a members live where people get to actually see these papers.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of different notes and comments that you're getting from people, and this was all done while you were on remand, isn't it?
This was all on remand. Yeah, I did no custodial time. As I said, it did not go to trial. But let me just go through the process of whilst I'm in Hellmarsh. So anyway, as I said, everybody has these papers, yeah? Right? Everyone sees these papers. Now, for those who've never been to those places, when you're in those institutions, you have to go and bathe your skin. You have to go and eat. You have to go and do your classes, or if you're working. So you have to be out your cell, out of your pit. You have to be out there unless you're sick. And as I said, when it comes to being in the institution of Iron Curtain, if you are up on a charge and an allegation of what happened to me, and you don't really show your face or come out there, people, I don't know, people tries just go crazy. Oh, I'm not feeling him. There's something about that guy or whatever. Yeah, I reckon he's a nonce. Yeah, I reckon he's a rapist. Yeah, that how you maneuver in an institution such as that, and on a charge like what I was on, an allegation, as I have to emphasize, an allegation. Yeah, once I'm there, you know, something like no, man, no, fine, no. Let me show you something. Let me show you what happened. Once I'm there. No, I don't know no inmates on my house block. I don't know a name. I don't know anyone on that house block. So what I'm kind of in now. So I'm about 4 or 5 days in. I'm taking a shower. Yeah, I'm taking a shower. And a brother from out South London, a white guy, said to me, he said, bro, are you a MC50? I went, brother. I went, you know, I said to the brother, I went, shh, brother. Don't bother with that, bro. I'm in here with the rest of them. I'm XF7111, whatever my name is. I am no MC50 in. Yes, sir. You want to do the 50 team? When I'm out of there, we can do that on the outside. Once I'm in this institution with all of us, we are all the same. We are just numbers. Yeah? That's how I went down with my team whilst I was Hell March. You think always someone rolled up on me? Boy, listen, I was in there with Getz. Yeah, me and Getz was in there. Getz can all confirm this. Big up my man, Danny Styles. Big producer from Jungle. Danny Styles. Check with Danny Styles. Yeah, check with a man named Danny Styles who was in custody. Yeah, with me. Any man who was in custody with me from 2012 to 2013, from July 2012 to 2013 of January 23rd. Any man who was in Hell Marsh with me. Yeah, and throughout the institution of the time, remember, I got to go to the yard, I got to go to training, I got to do all sorts of things throughout the prison system for 7.5 months. And at no time, at no time, let me say this. There's a saying, yeah? I went behind bars, but I never come out with no scars. Y'all hear me? Behind bars without no scars. Yeah? As I said, even the inmates, just the way how I conducted myself throughout. I have to big up my Loss, my bedroom Loss from up Midland there, sir. He's doing the 25 stretch right now. Yeah? And all them man upon my wing that time there. A better name Loss, yeah? A yard man still. Yeah? He's on an M charge. He's doing a 25 on an M charge. Yeah? He came up, we all came out of our cells, like we've gone back to our cells. We're coming out for like work or going to our classes, people going to gym, whatever. So we are all out. All the inmates are out. Now, there was a particular individual who didn't have a vibe for me. And he went to like kind of pipe up and want to pop off, so to speak. So, this brother, Laos, who I don't know this brother Laos. You hear me? I don't know this man here. He stands up whilst we're all on the landings and one thing there, on the Spurs. Yeah, we're all on the Spurs. He can't go, and we're all on the one spur, ready to be allocated to what we need to do. He stands up in front of that on my block. There must have been like easy 100 man on my block, on my house block. Yeah, he stands up in front of the whole of the man then and said, "Yo, look on this young man here. This man look like what? Dude, oh, this man look like a rapist. Look how this man a flex. Look on the man trash. Look on the man. Listen, I'm with this stuff. I'm with what do we call it? Oh my God, what's the name we call it? Corned beef. Yeah, right. Corned beef. Use the uniform. We call it corned beef. Yeah, but how I put myself together, present myself, carried myself, conducted myself throughout the institution, whether it be the screws, whether it be the governor, whether it any inmate. No inmate can ever say, boy, that brother was rude, he was obnoxious, he was out of order. Not an inmate. Not an inmate in Hell Marsh. Hell, you hear what I say, people? Hell. Yeah. So go ahead, brother. So with that now, I'm just there waiting for folks to come along. Okay. Wait to see what's coming along. Now, anyway, check this. So I'm in custody in Hell Marsh. Now I get a legal visit, as you know, we get a legal. Yeah. I get a legal from my solicitor, Mr. Palace, and this is the first time I'm going to meet my barrister. Let me say this as well. I said to my solicitor, in no uncertain terms, I said to him, Mr. Palace, the barrister, I want you to get me, I want a female barrister, and I want a rape specialist. I don't want a barrister that deals with drugs, who deals with guns, who deals with domestic violence, who deals with all other bullshit. Now, I want a rape specialist, female specialist who that's all they do. That's what they have. Straight. So I had one of those barristers. So I had this barrister, Helena. Now I'm in Hell Marsh in having a legal. So my solicitor, and this is my first ever meeting with my barrister. The first ever meeting I'm having with my barrister. Yeah. Okay. Now, Afua, we spoke on this off camera. Let me say this to the viewing audience. anyone who's ever been arrested of some sort or who have ever had to go for a court trial or whatever it is, and you've had your legal representative, so-called be a solicitor, say be a barrister. Know this: every barrister who represents a client knows whether or not their client is guilty or not. Every barrister and every solicitor knows whether their client is guilty or not. Yeah? So anyway, first time meeting with this barrister. So now, sit down and, you speak. This is the words out of my female barrister's mouth. She says to me, I'm not going to declare my name. Just say 5-0 for the sake of it, yeah? She says to me, 5-0, I tell you what, you know what? If you own up to this, you get a third of your sentence off. I went, yo, what? Mr. Oh, yeah, what woman? Are you fucking, are you mad, woman? Are you fucking for real? I jumped up in her face. This is the first ever meeting with my barrister. I leapt up in her face. I said, woman, are you fucking for real? I'm like, Mr. Pat, what the fuck is this? You mad? Admit to what? No crime committed. You're mad, lady. Get the... You know what the woman said to me? First time I met her, and after, with my emotional response to her, you know what she said, Afua? This is what she said. She said, 5-0, sit down. I'm representing you. I'm representing you. My barrister have the same papers that's in your possession at this very same minute. My barrister goes through this Queen's Counsel and reads this and says, well, Mr. Harold, Mr. 5-0, this is a bag of bollocks, basically. This is bullshit. Her very words was, she's like, 5-0, this is straight consensual. I don't know why the CPS are even trying to bring such. This is fully consensual. And as a matter of fact, it seems as though this very same individual, Nisho Jones, was pressurized to come forward.
It does feel that way. Just to hit you up a little bit there, 5-0. It does feel that way because I've been reading through it myself as well. And let me play devil's advocate for a minute.
No, you got devil team on us. Angels advocate.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean, Fibes. You know what I mean. So in I'm going to ask the question because the fact that the person came forward a year later is not it for me. Lots of women who have been raped don't come forward. They don't come forward for years sometimes.
There was no crime committed.
That's not it for me. The fact that she happened to pipe up a year later. That's not
18 months later, not a year. 18 months later.
18 months later, yeah. 18 months later. That's not it for me. What it is for me is that when I'm reading through the statements, it's the inconsistencies and also the fact that there's a part where she says that she was actually sat on a toilet after the event for 3 whole hours. She was in the club with her brother, who happened to be a policeman. And she sat on the toilet for 3 hours. And when she came back to the dance floor, he sort of said, where you been? That part doesn't add up for me because your brother's a policeman. You've gone to the club with him. You're missing for 3 whole hours. And the man has to come and look for you as a policeman as well. And then she also went on to continue taking drugs and continue raving with her brother.
And drinking. Not just alcohol.
Those are some of the things. That's just one of the things that kind of caught me and thought, because I'm not a police person, I'm not a barrister, I'm not a lawyer, but I have dealt with a lot of victims and a lot of perpetrators in my time, from a specialist standpoint as well. And there was so many things that were jumping out at the page that thought, this doesn't make sense. The fact that you had to pass multiple layers of security and none of them seemed to recall anything.
4 sets of security, 2 personnels at each stage.
Right.
At each stage going to the stage of the O2 arena.
Right.
Fully cameraed up, right down to face recognition.
Let's play devil's advocate again.
No angel's advocate, no devil around your son.
No, but it's not an angel's advocate, it's a devil's advocate. That's devil's advocate always tries to set the cat amongst the pigeons, you see. Right. So let's play devil's advocate again. She was scared. She didn't show any reaction. security might not have seen that she was distressed because she was frozen with fear. Let's just say
Frozen?
that.
At what point? At what point
Wait a
was she?
minute. It still doesn't account for why it was that your brother didn't come looking for you after 3 hours of absence. It doesn't account for the fact that you carried on raving. Even if you didn't want to talk, it would be highly unusual for you to continue raving 3 hours later. So we're going into kind of 6 hours after the fact now, because that doesn't make sense either. What rave lasts for 8 hours? Was it an all day or was it an all night?
No, it was all night. I mean, it went on.
It was an all night. Okay, so she
night,
could have.
yes.
Well,
But I wasn't there all night.
For another 3 hours. That's what it says in her statement.
Well, I wasn't there for another 3 hours, so I wouldn't know what time it was finished.
There's so much of it that doesn't make sense to me. Also, the fact that she admits to being really, really drunk. By her own admission, taking a hell of a lot of drugs. She's used a particular term to say that she was spangled. I've never heard that term, but I assume that to mean that she was off her face. She actually says that a few times as well. She also says that she had mushrooms, which is a hallucinogen. That makes you see things that are not there. There's so much of it that just is totally inconsistent for me.
And here's the thing now. The opposite word what you just said there. Yeah, she said, "Oh, she was drunk and all this." Let me say this to the viewers, please, and your listeners and your viewers, yeah. And please take this, yeah. This is parables. This here is parables. A drunken tongue speaks a sober mind.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol. The only thing that alcohol changes is characteristics. You know what it does not change? A moral compass. It does not change scruples. It doesn't change ethics. It doesn't change substance. A drunken tongue speaks a sober.
Well, this was more than a drunken tongue. It was just complete inebriation from being magic mushrooms, ease, all sorts of drugs and alcohol on top of it. And this is by the person's own admission. Now, Fives, don't kick off. I know you. Yeah, just keep it cool for a minute. We've got somebody called Carol, and also this person, Truths Matters. It's probably not their real names. But they're basically saying that you've been accused of rape multiple times, that you slept with a 15-year-old whose mother called the police.
What? Oh my God. Oh, you know what?
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing, yeah. When it comes on to people that like let me just say, please, Fives, when it comes on to people that like young girls, men that like young girls, all of the men that I've called out on this platform who have been about that, the people around them knew about it. They chose not to say anything and remain complicit. You understand? But I can testify, me personally, I have never, ever seen this man have a penchant for young girls. Ever. You understand me? This man likes big woman.
Big woman tea, yeah? Woman lotion, man.
And I'm talking the fact that I've known you for 25, 30 years.
You know my daughter's mother. You know my daughter's mother.
Your daughter grew up in my mother's house.
All right, see that?
Your daughter's mother is one of your daughter's mothers is
that's right.
My sister's best friend. But we know each other independent of that anyway, don't we? I will vouch, and there's other people I'm sure that will vouch.
I can say this.
To the young girl thing, I can't swear for anything else, Rodney.
I can swear for me.
I just believe you.
I can wholeheartedly.
The young girl thing.
I can, as I said, I can stand tall on my shit, no matter who the hell is in the comments. Yeah, as we said.
Loud profanity, because
of course. Okay, fair, I understand. For those who want to post their comments, as I said, bring forth your facts and take your emotions out of this. I presented facts and truthful evidence in front of Afua has all of my paperwork there.
I've scrutinized.
Let me just say this. Those very same people who are pointing the fingers are the ones with the most to hide. Those who are speaking the loudest are always the weakest. You hear me? Yo,
you know what?
Let me just say this. Going out to all those sheeps, know this. A lion don't respect no sheep. No lion can ever, no sheep can ever deal with a lion. Yeah. So we're sticking to the facts here. Yeah. So regardless, as I said, it's not a concern for me. It's not a concern for me. I have never, listen, I've always made an oath to myself that I would never, ever would deal with a woman younger than my children. My first and eldest child is 42 years of age. No man and no woman, and even those who are in the comment, no one's ever seen me. I've never been with a young girl. Never. I've never dealt with a woman younger than my children's age. Ever. I'm a man of scruples and ethics. Big woman team. You hear me? That's always been me throughout my life. I've always had women around me before any MC50 thing, yeah? Women have always been around me. Women have always been around me. Yeah? From the pan of the road and doing my thing on the road. Listen, women's have always been around me. Yeah? From then till now. And let me just say this. Another parable for the viewers.
Sorry, before you go. No, 1 second, please, Fives. Before you go, with the parables, who's Eastman? Apparently, he's somebody from a radio station that I should ask.
Cool FM.
But you know, at the end of the day, these were allegations, and there's people that cancelled you on the back of it. But
of course,
that's what happened.
Wipe me out.
When these people are talking what they're saying, I must ask Eastman, ask Cool FM or whatever. These people ran on allegations, and they did it because, in my opinion, they never liked you anyway. So it was a convenient moment to be able to.
Let me just say this. When I went to make one of my first court appearances, in this courthouse was my son's mother, Mentha, my beloved friend and sister for life, Miss Emma Jane Jennings, and also my beloved sister for life, Surly Britain's Got Reggae Braithwaite, alongside Eastman from Cool FM, was in the court on my first appearance, talking about if you get bail or whatnot. That's what happened. As I said, I don't have to talk. That's Surly's about. Surly will come straight in front of the camera, and as I said, she'll confirm what took place.
Somebody else called Diana is saying, I thought the law states that if a woman or stroke person is under the influence or drugged up, they cannot consent to sex, which equals rape. That's a very recent development, actually. And if both parties are under the influence, which was the case at the time, wasn't it?
I was smoked weed. I was on weed.
You were on weed. You were on drink, right?
Yeah. I had a brand new lemonade. Yeah, just a brand new lemonade.
Remember, we're talking 12 years ago, Diana. So that wasn't
actually exactly. Yeah. That's right. 12 years, 10 years, 12 years. Yeah, and that impacted my life in such a degree. Can you share with us like how that impacted your life? Are you willing to share that with us? Yeah, of course. Why not? Listen, this is all about transparency. Yeah, I'm being real about this. How this impacted my life. The mere fact that whilst being in custody, and I was hearing a number of things about people say stuff about myself whilst being in custody. So, okay, all right, cool. So on the 23rd of January 2013, went to Woolwich Crown Court. Barrister come to the cell, come up. My barrister says to me, Mr. Fivo, you'd be well pleased to know that the CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service, is not going ahead because there's nothing here. I was livid. You think just by thinking you can just say, oh yeah, well, there's no trial, you can just go on and think. The mayor to be exonerated from prosecution, to come home to persecution. Yeah, because that's what happened, Afua. I came out of prosecution, exonerated, nothing to get the answer, to be persecuted. Yeah. So anyway, so I come out. So one of the first, as you said, how it impact my life, because of those who I truly felt like really had me, really, was down with 50. How many? This is colleagues who I worked with, been in their homes, we've done vacations and all sorts of stuff. Done some crazy mad videos amongst some of these people who I'm very fond of. I'm very fond of. I can say in my heart right here, right now, had that been anybody else, you can be rest assured that me, I'm not snubbing you. I'm not going to shun you. I'll give you an elbow. Yo, unless you are convicted, yeah, and it's that. Listen, hearsay, speculation, conjecture, and all the rest of it, that you cannot bring that into the court of law. Getting that to the viewers. So you can hear what the hell you like. Go to the police officer and say what you heard. Go there. Take a trial. Go to court with hearsay. I heard this. I heard that. You know what I heard? You know what I heard, people? I heard that Tupac Shakur's alive and Biggie Smalls is alive. That's what I heard. But anyway, I'm going to talk about impact of my life. Now, unbeknownst to me, throughout the period of time, I had a tumor growing in my body, unbeknownst to me. Yeah, because of the anxiety, the total stress of it all, the ripple effect that it had, not just for me, my son's mum, my people who got love for me, Surly, Sister Maxie, and also all the people who got love for me, my children, my mother. Well, my mother was like, boy, I can tell you one thing about my son. In my this, in my that, in this, but I can tell you this now, my son never marry up no girl. My son, you're mad. We see too much woman come on my house for my son. That's not me.
I'm not being facetious, but that's what a mum is gonna say.
No.
Standard, right? But then I know your mum ain't gonna stand by you unless she believes that to be true. She's not that kind of mum. She's a mum like my mum or me, you know. And equally, my brother, what I will say to you is, because we discussed my ex-friend Punroy, didn't we? Yes. And a lot of people are quite aware of how I dealt with Punroy. He was my bona fide friend, you know. But when the evidence presented itself, I found him to be guilty. And I condemned him probably worse than I would have done somebody I didn't know. And if it was the same with you, Five,
you've done the same.
When you came to me
to do the same.
and you presented me with these papers, if I saw discrepancies, I'd be saying, hang on a minute, Five. Wagwan.
You had them in front of you.
And I'd rip you a new ass as well, because I'm not about just because it's my friend. I'm about
that's right. That's right. So and that's just. That's true.
Sensey saying that they're your friend. And don't lie, you took ease. Whatever. This isn't about whether or not the man took drugs.
So what?
Back in the day,
I'm not getting down with that. So what? Everyone's social experiment. I can say this. Listen, I took. Listen, as I said, I can stand tall on my shit. Yes, I took ease. I smoked bomber clock crack. I snort bomber clock cocaine. Yes, me do them thing there. Never touch heroin in my life. Never touch angel dust. But yes, I will openly admit it. Yes, I mean, me take easy. Yes, from the top of 1980 bomber clock.
That was the part of the scene that I didn't.
Anyway, that's another story. I don't look at that. Yes, I did those things. And big man like me, I can stand tall on it. I'm not even. I'm running from what? As I said, we're talking about impacts of my life. So anyway, let's get to that. So there's a tube. So I have a. Unbeknownst to me, I don't know that I have a tumor growing inside of me because of the impact of the whole thing. Now, in 2017, I'm in my home where I'm now. I'm in my kitchen. I leave my kitchen. I'll never forget. I leave my kitchen here, and I go to my living room. I go to sit down after I finish washing up. I go to sit down after a while. But as I go to approach my settee, as I go to turn to sit, I do one human act. I sneeze and I collapse to my floor, screaming at the top of my lungs, screaming in my living room. I'm flat on the floor, sister, on my back, looking at to see me one. First thing, I don't know what's happened. I'm thinking, man, I'm in great shape. I'm in the best shape of life, better than I was in my 30s. Listen, the way how I was at that time, I'm an athlete. You can measure me as an athlete at the time. So I'm here now. I'm here in my home. I'm by myself. I don't know what it is. I'm thinking, man, is this a heart attack? But as I said, I'm laying on my floor. I thought my heart was beating. The next minute, I thought it was a stroke. So I wiggle my fingers, I wiggle my toes, and the sensation, I feel the sensation. So I'm on my back. So my phone's on the table. I can't even reach my table to get my phone. So I slide up off the floor to the back of my settee. So as I slide up, so I know it's not my heart, and it's not a stroke, because I can feel the sensations. The first thing that I do, I inhaled. I went, as soon as I went, oh shit! I just went straight back down.
So basically, because of the stress and the allegation, and also you being sent to prison or put on remand, or put on remand wrongly, it had created so much of a stress in you that it caused a tumor. That's what you're telling us. Yeah. Okay.
So this happened in 2017. Now, I had no idea it was a tumor cancer. So I stay up. I don't. It happens at night, like we'll be on. It happens at night for me. So I'm at home. I'm zoning through YouTube, because the first thing I don't want my eyelids to go down, because I'm thinking if that happens, it's curtains for me. Mm-hmm. It's curtains for me in here, and you're gonna we have to find we have to kick off all these doors. We're calling him up to kick off the door. We find 5 lay down on his bed or lay down on his settee. We're here. And I can't even believe I had the thought of presence of mind to think. I'm saying to myself, I'm not, Lord God, this is not happening. I'm laying on my back, like clutching, saying, I'm not going to allow this to happen. I'm not going to allow people to kick my door off. Family say, boy, have to find more, because I heard too many stories of that. And I couldn't even believe I had the presence of mind to think that. But anyway.
So it was pretty much a near-death experience that you had at that time.
Yeah, sister, we'll get deeper onto that about the death experience. We're going to get closer to that. So anyway, now, that happens now. I go to the doctors, I ride on my bike. The following morning, I go to my doctor. The doctor, basically, what I had, I'm in litigations with him, and it takes years, because he was very negligent. The doctor was not negligent. So I've been examined by a female doctor. Now, this female doctor, she goes, I said, man, I'm feeling this little pain, this little twitch. Remember, I'm working out, going gym, doing calisthenics, I'm doing a little bit of weights, I'm doing every type of exercise, all sorts, cycling. So the female GP says to me, she goes to me, will you take off your top? So I said, take off my top. Now, going that to your viewers, and for anybody who's ever had an examination, this is what the GP done. She went from my right clavicle, like this. She just touched like this, very, very lightly across my clavicle, right across here. And as soon as she touched me on my clavicle here, I just folded. I folded right in front of her. She said to me, whatever that is not good. So they sent me immediately to the hospital, to Whips Cross. I go to Whips, I have an immediate x-ray. No MRI, no biopsies, nothing. This is just an x-ray. X-ray comes back within 10 days. GP calls me, come to the surgery. So when I get to the surgery now, I'm waiting for my doctor, the one who I'm in litigation with now. He walks out of his surgery with his head down. He's come back like this. By the time he even lifted his head, Afua, I don't know, say this is not good. I know it's not good. I felt it. It's not good. I'm like, this is not good. I'm standing into the room to confirm. So we go into the doctor's room. He pulls up my thermal imaging of my torso. When I see my torso, there's this white mass right across my right clavicle, right here. Yeah. So I'm thinking, yo, what is that? Now he's dithering, and he's like, oh, Mr. I don't want, because my doctor, that very same doctor who I'm in litigation with, was negligent. So I've had to bed him up. So what is this? When other patients come in, what does it turn out to be? He says to me, Mr. It turns out to be 9 times out of 10, it turns out to be cancer. I'm not. So with that now, in the back of my mind, I think it could have been a possibility. Now that he's confirmed it, I was like, wow. So the first thing I did, got in touch with my mother. I went to see my mother face to face. Yeah. Yeah. So I did that now. Get to my send it off to who I need to send to. So that's now. Come April of 28, I'll go to Jamaica of 2017. I go to Jamaica and I come back. I don't say a soul to no one. Only 3 people in my life know what's going on with me. So I come back to the UK. I come back to the UK on the 23rd of January 2018. By the 25th of January, which is less than 72 hours in the country, I'm going there to Bath Hospital, me and my sister. I'm going to Bath Hospital. I do not come out for 2018, other than straight biopsies. Biopsy after biopsy, blood test. Listen, I was a living cabbage and vegetable and test subject. Yeah, that's what I had to endure. That's the enormity and the gravity of that lie, how it impacted my life. Yeah, as I said, so I've had.
So hold on, 1 second, Fives. For those of you that are going like, why is he talking about this? Listen.
You asked if I had impacted my life.
Let me done, Fives. Let me done.
I had to.
People accuse me of being biased towards women, but I'm saying there's people in the chat tonight that when a woman's telling her story and we've got the perpetrator and his family saying, oh, she's lying, get her off, most people are willing to listen to the woman's story and how it impacted on them. So I'd respectfully ask anybody here tonight to give that brother the same respect. Most of you are being respectful. There are 530 people watching and there's only about 3 people that are detracting in here tonight. Do you understand me? Let me done, Fives. Let me done. And the other thing as well, why are people caught up with the fact that this man is a naturally eccentric and animated individual? That's how he is. That's how you've always been, Fives. You know, it's not about you performing or trying to put on a show. It's the way you are. Everybody has their thing. Some people
listen. As I said,
hold on. Some people say things slowly. Others are animated in the way that they do it, and so on. Stop getting caught up in all of that. We have
why does it bother those in the chat about my emotions?
Because they're not friends of yours, clearly.
Let me just say, Afua, as I said to all of those who are in the viewing and those who are in the chat, let me just say this: this never happened to you. It happened to me. It happened to me. None of you it happened to. You don't want to ever have to go for an experience like I had to endure. None of you would never. Some of you don't have the heart. Some of you would have done crumble. Yeah. Let me show you something.
And they also joined the live halfway through. And
let's move this forward. Let's move this forward. How much about the impact? I want to get straight to it now. Right? So this thing impacted my life. So here, what now? Yeah. Let me show you how this impacted my life. Now, on the day, I can't remember. Now, I'm doing chemo and I'm doing radiotherapy for 6-7 months straight. Let me tell you about the energies and God and how the mystics work. On the day, the night before I went to my sister's because I had a dental appointment on Forest Road in Walthamstow. So I was staying with my sister and her husband. So did that, did my dental appointment. I went to Hackney, had my hair cut, went to check a bridging up by Clapton Pond. Well, at the time, no bridging of mine because I threw the same shit here. Checked in, left there. Now I've left Clapton Pond and I jumped on a bus. This is about 8 o'clock in the evening, about 8, 9. I've jumped on a bus. I can't remember which bus it was. It takes me to Baker's Arms. Now, as I get to Baker's Arms to get off a connecting bus to get to my sister further down into Walthamstow, I am paralyzed to the chair on the bus. I cannot move. My legs are gone. I'm sitting in this chair, and the passenger says to me, "You guys, you right, mate?" I'm like, "Bro," I said, "Like, no, bro, I can't feel my legs." Then I said, "What?" He said, "Come." So I put my arm around the man. The man lifts me up, but my leg is limp. My leg is limp. I can't do nothing. Anyway, I get into a cab. They put me in the cab. I go like this on the back seat, slump, face first, bam, face first. Unbeknownst to me, get to my sister's. As soon as I get to my sister's, I got no legs. The cab driver has to escort me to the door. I got no limbs. I can't move. They're just dragging. So I get to now as I get to my sister's door, I've got this key. Now, when I'm looking at this lock, there's about 6-7 different locks. Like my eyes are spinning. My eyes are going like this. And there's about 6-7 different locks. Now, the only thing that came to my mind, to have the presence of mind, what came to me was, you know what came to my mind? Rush Hour with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. In one of the scenes, he hit to Chris Tucker, hit the one in the middle, which I did. I hit the lock in the middle. Successfully, it happened. So I get through the door. But as I said, I'm crawling because I've got no legs. So my sister's home, bathroom's downstairs. It's an old style room. Go upstairs, the bedrooms, yeah? So I'm in the bedroom. I climb into my bed. So I climb, but I'm just like this. I get on the phone. So I'm on the phone to my beloved sister, love friend, yeah, Monique Thomas, my sister, yeah.
This was all in the lead up to you going to the hospital.
No, this, as I said, this is me at home. Now, this is where now about how I end up getting into intensive care, into a coma. So I'm at my sister's. So I'm on the phone and we're talking, but my eyes is rolling, but I'm delirious. I can't hear nothing. So I kind of go into consciousness. She screams down the phone. He wakes up. So I kind of startle myself and wake up. And then before you know, boom, I've gone like this. Now my bladder fills. I don't think I've slept. My bladder fills up. So I feel as though I can just jump up and go. I'm not thinking that I've got no legs. As soon as I get up and I try to make it down the stairs to go to the toilet, I piss up myself. Straight. I've got no legs. I piss up myself. Don't know what's going on. I make my way to the bedroom. I crawl on my hands and my legs to get to the bedroom. So I have no legs. I get back to the bedroom within 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. My bladder fills again. I'll make the same attempt. Same outcome. Piss up myself. All over. So I'm kind of crawling, make it to upstairs. So I go into my bed, but I fall off my bed. Bam, straight on my sister's floor. My sister's husband comes running down. He sees me. He's like, "Yo, what's going on there?" Calls my sister. My sister is in the medical profession. Yeah, she's in the medical field. He tries to pick me up, but as he picks me up, I slump like a sack of potato. I slump. I go back down, and my eyes are just rolling all over the place. I'm just everywhere. My sister says to me, she's like, "Bro," she goes, "How many fingers have I got?" I'm just like this. I don't know. She's like, "Right, bam, phone's the ambulance, straight ambulance." Right, so the ambulance picks me out of my bed. Remember, I've just come off chemo, put all these respirator, all these things on my arms. We rushed to go to home at the hospital. Rushed me straight to hospital. First thing, they're cutting off my clothes, taking off everything. When they take me to CT scan, that's the first thing. They took me to CT scan. And when I came out the CT scan, it could have been 15, 20 seconds. It was very quick. The last words I heard them say at CT, "This patient needs to go to ICU now." They were the last words I heard, and I was out. Them time that I'm out, coma. I'm out. Afua.
So just to cut the story short, you were diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Stage 3 cancer.
Stage 3 cancer, yeah.
Yeah. And you asked me how it impacted my life. Like I said, this tumor grew from the time of the incident, the time of what allegedly supposed to take place, which didn't take place. As I said, it was consensual liaisons. That's the impact and the enormity that it has on one's health. That's the enormity it done to me. Mm-hmm. To me.
That you were within an inch of your life.
Listen. God praise those in the medical profession, those who at Bath Hospital, get to all the staff, my consultant, my surgeons, get to each and every one of them, those who's in the intensive care over there at home at the hospital, all that great magical.
You're pretty much in remission as we speak.
Yeah. Call it remission. I'm alive.
No, that's what they call it. You've shrunken it, right?
Yeah, it was shrunken,
and you're surviving. That's what it is. But Fives, let me.
I'm not surviving. I'm living.
We've heard about the impact. Yeah. Let me take you back to that night again in the O2 Arena. Mm-hmm. And as I say, let me be contentious. So you're in the toilets. You've decided to look. Like I said, this isn't an assessment of how moral you were. You know, people want to judge you.
Openly.
You're an MC, you're in the arena, everyone's having a good time. The scene is what it is, and you've decided to take a woman into the toilets and have sex.
No, as I say.
That was
it's a choice, because as I say, she had me aroused. I was aroused. I'm not gonna admit, as I said, she aroused me.
I'm not asking you to justify it, I'm just trying to, because there's a lot of people in the comments questioning that. So
I'm questioning that. I'm not answering that.
what I'm saying is that is not really unusual on that kind of scene. These things happen, you know, on that kind of scene. In that
Any
people
scene,
people have
any
sex in the
scene.
toilets, they have sex outside, whatever.
Come on,
You know,
man.
at the end
It
of
happens
the
on
day.
every scene, in every nightclub up and down the country, in every nightclub across the world. That stuff goes down.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's not for me to judge. It would not be my choice.
Hey,
but at the end of the day, people do this kind of stuff. That's not in question.
Afua, I am, as I said, I sit here before you. Now you're asking about impact. This is how much it impacted my career. Every promoter that I ever worked for 30 years dropped me.
Yeah.
Even down to the ones who are
you got cancelled.
Built up their events for. When they snubbed me, when I was snubbed and shunned, there's not a great deal I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about that. This is how that was the impact, how it went down. And as I said, yeah, and you know, people say, I'm not working with 5-0, I'm not doing this with him, I'm not doing that with that. The very same types of people are the very same types of people who are slapping and beating women. The very same people who are impregnating little young girl at big man's age. Yeah, these are the type of people, right?
And have you ever been?
Let me say this. I need to say this. Every person who's come into your comments or your chat, I'd like to ask them this. This is what I'd like you to do. Each and every one of you, you're posting your comments and you're viewing this now. I ask you to do one thing, please, not just for me, for clarification. As I said, this is not an explanation, it's a clarification. And I'm asking your viewers, all I'd like them to do is to go on, it's public record. Please go on the sex offenders register. Yeah, please do that. I ask each and every one of you to do so and see if you see my name there.
All right, so
you see my name there.
The sex offenders register is for people that's been convicted.
Hey, okay? Yo, let me show you something.
What we need to do is, and I've put it in, so I'm waiting to hear back because I do that for everybody that comes here, every man that comes here. Claire's Law disclosure. That will show any time that you've been accused. So these people that are saying you've been accused of this, you've been accused loads of times of rape and all the rest of it.
Really?
Let me done, Rods. A Claire's Law disclosure would decide whether or not this man has been accused, because it doesn't talk about necessary convictions, a Claire's Law disclosure. It talks about accusations as well as convictions. Do you see what I mean? So if you've been accused multiple times, whether it's domestic violence, rape, whatever, it will come up on a Claire's Law's disclosure.
Yeah, I've never, ever in my lifetime as a man, ever lifted my hand to a woman. Yeah. No woman who's ever been in my company.
Have you ever been accused of rape before now?
No woman who's ever been in my company. Never felt threatened. And if they've ever felt uncomfortable whenever they've been around me, hey, if they make me feel uncomfortable, if you're uncomfortable with me, I'm uncomfortable.
Brother, was this the first allegation of rape that has ever come your way?
No, there was another allegation. Yes, there was. And this allegation comes from a woman who was sleeping with my son. She was also sleeping with a fellow artist. Yeah, this artist, I'm not saying I respect them because they wouldn't give me a shot. They were sleeping. Both this artist and my son, who's watching this now, was sleeping with the same woman. This woman I've never met in my life. She comes along. We go to what's her name? Oh God, she's a big DJ. What's her name? Oh my God, on
we don't have to name names. We don't have to name the names.
Yeah. She was. We went to her night scene over by Hackney. Now she comes along with a prominent jungle promoter.
Okay.
Yeah. Prominent. I'm not going to call.
I wasn't aware of this, but
no. As I said, this is transparency and truth and right. So she turns up to this wake with this prominent promoter. Yeah. So she's with this prominent promoter. Remember me going on my yard. Yeah. She gets the number from the promoter of my number. She said to me, no, the promoter introduced me to her and said, oh, do you know that your son was dealing with this woman? And as well as another man who I go with was dealing with her. I'm like, yeah, cool. Whatever. Now,
how long ago was this?
How
long ago?
Years ago.
Before this.
Before this.
Okay.
Years ago. So that woman, she was bipolar. She had issues. This woman phones me, but no, I'm going to my sister's 50th over by St. Raphael's Estate in West London. Yeah, that's where I'm going. So this woman says to me, she's out on the road. Yeah, remember, she's left my promoter, this prominent promoter. She's left him and says, "Oh, can I come?" I said, "No, I'm going out." She says to me, "Oh, I've got nowhere to go. I'm gonna have to sleep in my car. I'm ready to tear like." Because the fact that is, because she dealt with my son. Because she dealt with my son. That was the soft. That was the kind of, you dealt with my son, and you dealt with the man who I call my brethren. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she comes to my home. I don't call her. Yeah. I'm not calling no woman. Yeah, calls me. Yeah. We're here. Give her food. Give her drink. Yeah. Bought food. This is that little bit baby and all that. Smoke some weed. I asked this woman to drop me to St. Raphael's Estate. Yeah. She said she can't go home because her man, yeah, was some robbers. He had some issue with some robbing man. Her man. She says her man come around, butter her up with gun butt. She had them gunman coming around her yard, shot up all her yard, and I'm like, yo, I can't be around you. Yeah, and you was flexing with my son and a prominent MC in the Jungle Drum Bass fraternity. Yeah, very prominent. That both of them were sleeping with this woman. Yeah, and then before I know it,
all right, but like what I will say,
I'm saying,
no. You tell the story, Fives. But what I'm saying is, whether the woman was sleeping around or had mental health issues is by the by. Let's just find out. Let's just find out what happened.
I had nothing to do.
And I'm not challenging you necessarily. I'm not trying to put it on you. I'm just saying, like,
the only thing that I'm guilty of, I can tell you now. The only thing that I'm guilty of is opening up my heart.
Sure.
Opening up my heart and being accommodating.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of those things. Being accommodating to women because I'm a man who loves women. Listen, there's not a woman on planet Earth can ever say that Five was abusing them, slapped them, punched them. Not one. There's not a woman who can comment on your show or in the comment section here. Five was abused me. Five was ever slapped me. Five was this. You no, that's not me. Not a woman. Why aren't you saying?
Just hold it. Stick a pin just there. You see Barbara Fairclough, aka Smurf, come out of my comments with your absoluteness. Because you are not a good person, and don't let me have to talk up the things on you, Smurf. Yeah, so stop commenting. I don't want to see you. Go on.
Right, and here's like I said, sister, I'm happy. As I said, I'm being open. I'm honest, and on your platform, I have nothing.
Sorry, before we go off again, let's get back to the first allegation, I should say.
Yes,
so I wasn't aware of that. But those are the only two.
They were the only two.
The only two. So what these people are saying, there's been loads and loads and loads.
Where's the loads?
It's news to you.
Where's the loads? Bring the loads on and bring your evidence.
I'm going to post the link in a minute because I really want to hear from Truth Matters.
I am not concerned. I am not concerned about what they have to say. I'm not.
No. I hear you, but what we do here, Rod, in case
they want to come, they want to come alive.
What we do here, we invite them on. If they've got something to say, let them come and say it. Let them bring their evidence. Let them front you.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you, they're not going to come on the link and say nothing.
Yeah, I'm happy.
And if you're coming on Truth Matters and Carol, come with your camera on, just like Five O's got his camera on.
Do not come in an anonymous as a window warrior.
If your camera isn't on, then you're not going to be allowed on this live. That's it. Anyone who's saying what they're saying, because you guys have had a lot of strong things to say, and I want you to come with your chest.
Afua, if I did not hide in the Iron Curtain in Hellmarsh, a place where you cannot hide amongst murderers, killers, and lifers who read
Truth Matters was saying that you weren't on the lifers wing, you was on the rapist wing. Was he in there? Were they in there with you?
Who's that?
This Truth Matters person is saying,
You say,
oh, whoever this person is, Afua, tonight you are an enabler. How dare you defend this man? You absolute joke. These are just my trolls. Don't worry about those people. They're idiots.
hold on.
And
Hold
if
on.
you continue with your foolishness, Truth and Rights, you're going to go.
Listen, I'm not even going to penny that, because in the cold light of day, these very same people who are posting up these types of disparaging sort of stuff are the same type of people who wanted to see me in jail for a false allegation. And let me just say this to all of those. What's his name? Truth. Cool. Let me just say
Truth
this.
Matters sounds like a troll that I've got.
No, it's
Truth
right.
Right.
That's fine.
There's a troll that I have called Truth
As
Right.
I say, my beloved sister, and going out to the viewers. I have a smile on my face, and you know what that means? When I smile, my heart smiles. My heart smiles. I'm not discouraged. Listen. I don't give a I'm not offended. I don't care. I'm not talking who the rascal I offend, because you all have offended me, and even coming so 10 years later to try to still continue your offense on me. But I can live with that, because you know something, I am extremely grateful to everyone who ever snubbed me, for those who shunned me, for those who say they no longer want to do things with me. I am so extremely grateful.
You've got your haters like I've got mine.
Let me say this. I'm grateful. I listen. Thank you. All I can say is this: I am grateful to each and every one of you, and so thankful for all of you who want to be on the hating on me. Fine. You know something? Yeah, I'm so thankful, because you know why? I'm so grateful, because one thing is, I'm thankful. I thank you. I thank you all, because you know something? You cannot hide what's in your heart. You have shown what's in your heart for me. You can never ever hide it in any capacity, whether I be in a wedding, whether I be on the road, whether I be wherever I am. You can never ever hide your sentiments and your vibes, because you showed it to me. You played your card. So therefore, I'm like, whoa, I never do use you. Wherever I see, it's cool. We don't have anything. And I'm happy with that. As I said to them all, I'm thankful. Thank you for showing me what's in your heart for me. And look, yeah, I'm happy. Honestly, I'm thankful.
We're used to the haters around here.
No.
I'm putting out the link, people. There it is. Truth Matters, Carol, and anybody else that's got something to say. Come up and tell us what you know. That's what I
they know, what they have. What evidence can they produce?
Well, tell us what they think they know. Then let's call it that. Somebody asked who's Smurf. Smurf is the individual who, aka Barbara Fairclough, who gave me false information about Sir Lloyd. Saying that he'd been arrested and created a whole melee. But there's other stuff that's come to light as well, which I'm not going to necessarily go into. I think she's run off the live because I told her she knows. Not a good person, not a good person at all. And if that person comments one more time in this live and tries to cast aspersions on this brother, you especially, then I will out everything that you've been going on with. Wait, my brother, I'm talking. Hold on. I will out everything that you've been going on with Smurf. You're a bad sister. You are not a good person. DJ Lady Smurf, that's right. I said it. Yeah? You're out of order. And because I haven't drawn you on it, you must think me and you are good. We are not good. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah. As I said, this is why we're coming.
StreamYard link. I'm expecting to see Truth Matters come on. You're saying you are such a liar, Rodney. Come and talk up the things. Otherwise, I will kick you out of this live, Truth.
Can you repeat what you just said there, please?
I'll put it up if you want.
No. Just repeat what you just said there, please.
What I said,
Can you call me by my government name?
Yeah, he called you by your government name.
So that's someone who knows me.
It's someone who knows you. I know it's someone who knows you. And it's somebody who's got an axe to grind. That's what I think.
I'll welcome him. Please come on. If you're talking about truth, why are you not coming in front of the camera?
The StreamYard link
truth. Let me show you something. Truth is what you see.
Okay, there's somebody called Zebby. Zebby, can you connect your device, please? Because you've got to connect your camera, Zebby, in order to get on. Who's Zebby? All right, that person isn't connecting their camera. I hate when this happens. Zebby, can you retry? You just tried, Zebby, to get onto the live. Can you retry and connect your camera and microphone? Otherwise, it will not allow you onto the live, okay? Please try again. Go ahead, Fiver.
Yeah, as I said to your viewers, and I mean, I have Serling here. Serling has been a stalwart. Monique at my bedside at the hospital, my sister and all of those, they have been so supportive. Let me show you something. When I came home in 2013, the first ever jungle event I went to was Everson Rat Pack and Lit Master Mark 25-year anniversary over there at the Coronet in Elephant and Castle. So when I go to this event, I go there with about 20 women. Serline, my sister Maxine Gibson from beer Nottingham woman. Serline, the only male that was with me, standing with me alongside myself, was my son. I walked in to Coronet with 20 women, none a little girl. You hear me? 20 women, solid, who know me, not know of me, know me, not knowing of. There's a distinction of knowing of someone and knowing someone. Just like someone say, I really love you, but you're not what? In love. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah? So this event, I certainly could confirm that she was there with me. We walked into the Coronet where I walked to that 25 woman. When the heads then turned, I said, yo, what, all them women are with 5-0. All those women are with 5-0. 20 of them. And the only male standing with me is my son. This is 2013 Coronet, Everson Rat Pack and Lit Master Mark. Yeah. Yeah, and as I said, this is when I want to go and feel and who is dealing with me and who ain't. Because people were saying I've got a number of things, but you know something, in order to get the tangible sense of it, just go out and feel it. So I went to that event. Now I saw that prominent people in our business, colleagues.
All right, there's somebody called I Hate Afua coming on. Let's see what they've got to say.
Oh, God.
I love you. Who is that? Hello, you're live. I Hate Afua, you are live. Are we going to talk? Are you going to talk? Or are you going to keep, there you go. It's just stupid people. Ain't got no sense.
Here's the thing, yeah? And here's the thing, Afua, like I said, my beloved sister, I'm very thankful and so grateful because there are many men who's gone through the same thing such as myself, and if not far worse. There's men who have been convicted based on a lie. Women are out here, sexualizing themselves. When it doesn't go their way, they want to start screaming. And here's the thing that I can't take.
Is that what happened? Wait, we're going off a little bit. Is that what happened with the first allegation? She was sleeping with your son and another DJ.
Yes.
How did she get to accuse you? And did she go to the police?
No, I had no. Yeah, she went to the police, and the police, this NFA. They was like, "What is this?" Because they know the history of this woman. Because she had bipolar. She had a crazy relationship with her mother. She received the call. I distinctively remember. She was here. She was on a loudspeaker call with her mother. The screaming and the shouting and what's going on. I had to end up calling the police to come in to say, "Yo, you cannot conduct yourself this way." She's screaming and going on with her mother. Let me just say this. This very same woman, who called it the allegation. Someone sends me something on my phone. I said, 5-0. Go on Babe Station and go look what's something. The very same woman who's made this accusation about me is on Babe Station. Yeah. Kit off, well, to a degree, kit off, up in the world.
What is Babe Stations?
Babe Station is like part of like a porn kind of thing, but soft porn.
Like OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, that's something. So I don't know what OnlyFans is. I don't get down with that. So
okay, but even prostitutes can get raped. So none of that's relevant. This person called I Hate Afua is back. If you think you're going to come and disrupt the live, I'll give you one more shot in case your camera weren't working.
Dude.
Hello, you're live. Right, they're just idiots. Let's get them.
What is?
Hello. Yeah, they're gone. You won't be coming back.
Vincent Reggin. I've never had a relationship with Vincent Rat. I've never had a relationship. East
London. I don't think you know Vincent Rat.
I've heard of Vincent. I've never had any acquaintance with him. I've heard of him. I've never had an acquaintance with that man. Never. Yeah, I'm saying I've heard of him. And yeah, of course I've heard of Vincent, but I've never had an acquaintance with that man. I've got nothing to say on the man.
Is that what someone said?
I'm here to talk about me.
Truth matters. You're gone. You've had your chance.
I'm speaking about what took place and what transpired and what could. It could well easily happen to men. So much easier today, because here's the thing, Afua, is that women are coming with the intent.
Moderator, can you kick Truth Matters out of the chat, please? Because, or let me just ban him completely, because it's probably Truths and Rights. I'm going to put, before you do that though, I'm going to put the link out one more time. If these people have anything of substance to say, they will actually come on.
Please come forward.
Come forward and say it. Please.
Be up from man up, woman up.
I don't think that Maya Rain, I don't think that 50 said he slept with the woman that was mentally unwell.
No, are you crazy? I just said to you, I'm a man of ethics and principle. Me not sleep with no man, girl. Never. You touch no next man.
Not from never.
Your son. And you're sleeping with my son. You for real? You're sleeping with my son and a brethren of mine. And as a matter of fact, this brethren ended up having another brethren who's made impregnate his girl. This is crazy stuff. This is the crazy stuff.
Queen B, let me do the comments a minute, please. Fives. Queen B, what are you talking about? Was this the blonde woman Afua posted up on her Insta? This is the second person we're talking about. He's just qualifying the fact that there was
clarifying. We are clarifying.
Qualifying. Just there was one allegation before the one we're talking about, the blonde woman on it.
And I just admit that.
And that was many years prior.
And I've said here on your platform up front, openly admit, if it was me, yeah.
But can you people listen a minute, please, Bricky Mindset? It's always you, isn't it?
Honey, as I said, I'm not flustered by none of this.
With your son, the man just told Fiver, let me done. Yes. The man just told you, Bricky Mindset, he did not sleep with the woman. Why are you asking these questions? I let you in this mindset after a period of banning you from here, because all you do is create confusion. If you want that again, carry on with your present approach. I hate Afua's back, but they're not coming anywhere near us. In fact,
they're funny.
They're very funny.
They're funny. Thank you for the laugh. Thank you for the humor and the slapstick. Yeah, thank you so much for those. Honestly, thank you ever so. No, but Afua, like I said, I'm quite happy.
We're going to get them. I told you that we'd get them. They'll be all
Afua, as I said, the mere fact that, as I said, there are men and young boys who are going through, who probably have gone through far worse. Men have been convicted on lies and
it makes it bad.
It's horrible.
It makes it bad for the sisters and the brothers that are true victims. That's what it makes.
Come on, man. And these people who are coming on here, yeah, none of them. Let me say this: all of those people on here, you're making your disparaging comments. None of you have ever been in a police cell. Stop talking, please. You have never been in a police cell, let alone custody. Yeah. You have no idea the enormity when you're in a cell and you're especially being interrogated about something of a consensual. A crime has not been committed. Afua has all my documentation there, and like I say to the viewers,
that's what it's based on for me.
Listen. You have all my criminal records there. Yeah, all of it, and all of this is going to the world. This is not hidden. This is transparent. This is going to the whole world. This clarification? Yeah, this clarification. The whole world is seeing this. As I said, I'm up front. I can stand tall with conviction. Yeah.
There are people in the chat that are saying that they're confused, Fiver. So let's just recap.
What are they confused about? What are they confused about? What question are they asking?
They're confused about the story, probably because they've joined halfway through. So I'm going to recap a little bit, okay? We went back to
the 90 question.
The first story, or the original story, which is the fact that you were in the O2 arena. Yeah. On a moral basis, you're guilty of acting loose.
I am definitely guilty. I'm guilty of being aroused. I'm guilty of being aroused, and I am responsible. I'm responsible. I'm accountable. I'm culpable.
With a woman.
Excuse me.
Having dirty sex in the toilets with a woman.
Hey,
that's what I would call it.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what you're guilty of.
Yeah, of course I'm guilty of that. I'm wholeheartedly guilty of that. Yeah, making the decision. I am culpable of finding myself in that position. I am accountable for making the choices that led me to what happened with me. I'm accountable for all of it. I'm culpable. Me. This is not on nobody. This is on I. It was my choices and a decision that took me to the unfortunate place where it took me to. And I hold no qualms. Nobody around me is responsible. No mommy. No, I'm accountable. I'm culpable. Yeah? Me. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I'm responsible for all my actions. Yeah, for my actions.
Scared of the above says, I'm very surprised, Afua, you have entertained this man today. Why are you surprised, Scared of the above? Tell us, please. And that's I'm not putting it on you at all. I'm just saying, why are you surprised? This man is a victim, as far as I'm concerned, of being wrongly accused of rape. Not just because I know him. As I said, we lost touch for 12 years nearly. And I wasn't around at the time of these allegations at all. I didn't know what was happening. I only found out about a month ago what has been happening. And since then, Scared of the above, I've been looking at bundles and bundles and bundles of evidence. As I said, we will share that on a members live, because what I don't want is all the trolls and all the nasty people that are in this chat tonight to be able to see these things.
Yes,
I'm thankful for them. Let me done the vibes, and we can anyone who wants to ask intimate questions or whatever can do that on a personal one-to-one basis with a 50 in the members live. But on this open forum, that's not going to happen. We've got the link out. Anyone that's got allegations that they want to put forward, because somebody's got a lot to say tonight. All now we can't see them.
As I said,
it's just unbelievable.
It's the one, as I said, as I said already, it's the ones that speak the loudest are the weakest. I said
these are new names in my chat tonight. Usually we kind of know the names, but these are new names. So what that says to me, Carol, Truth Matters, and one or two others, it says to me that you guys are enemies of 50, and you're coming tonight.
Hey,
that's what it says to me.
I'm fine with that. Afua, I made it off my deathbed. I made it off my deathbed and given no chance of recovering of life. There is nobody, I wouldn't allow anyone or anything that could ever put me back in a hospital bed. Yeah, I've come to the brink of death. As I said, none of them out there fear. You don't scare me and you don't fear me. I don't fear none of you, because the definition of the word fear is this: false evidence is appearing real. Yeah, so they're welcome to their opinions. I'm happy for them to have their opinions. They have the right to reply. That's human nature. I'm not discarding that. It's cool. It's fine. As I said, this is something that took place 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And as I said, this is the first time ever in the general public to the world, I say, right? And I'm happy to come up on this platform and speak with conviction, with heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so because as I said,
I've been reading your statement as well, because I think one of the questions is, how do you know it was consensual? That's one of the things that we talk about here on this platform.
Yeah,
consent and non-consent.
Yeah,
and it seems here like you've gone through and you've said that, you know, there was no struggle. The person actually approached you. I think that's the most significant thing, 50. She approached you. And there's CCTV evidence that would support that.
Support that in O2 arena.
That's the point, isn't it? So when people are chatting their chat, there's certain little nuances that they're not really aware of.
Because you know what? Let me say this. You see, chat is passa, hearsay, speculation, conjecture. That's chat. What we are doing here, we are speaking and talking and engaging with the public at large. And like I said again, Afua, I'm not in the slight, there's nothing to faze me. They can come all day, all night, and twice on a Sunday. You can't faze this.
We're not going to finish the recap actually because it's going to be too long, and anyone that wants a recap can go back and watch the live after the fact. It will be up here on YouTube forever, hopefully, and you can do that. But as I say, it's so big, this document, you know, this bundle, like court bundles usually are.
That's not a big document.
The other, it's a file. The other significant thing as well, which I will show on a members live, is the fact that this woman's daughter called her a liar and did not support her. Her own child, who's female, did not support her. You know, these are the little things. The CCTV does not show you leading her away. It shows her approaching you at the end of the day. These are the things that made me realize that actually there's some big holes in this woman's story. Now, all these other people that are saying, oh, there's been loads of women and 25 women that have accused you of rape in the past.
Oh, Bill Cosby now, yeah?
They're not here. They're not coming up with
what R. Kelly now?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah? They're not coming with their facts. It's as simple as that.
Oh, they was calling me Jimmy Savile. That's what they had 5 of them as Jimmy Savile. Yo, cool. I'm not having a bar of it.
All on the Twitter page.
Yo, no one is going to disparage my name. I will stand and fight for my and die.
I believe you, Fiverr. I believe you, like I believe every woman victim that comes on this page. I think a lot of people are being thrown because they don't like the flavor of your character. They don't like the way you
that's for them. That's an issue.
What I'm saying. They're letting that cloud.
I'm not no weak heart, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not no weak heart at here. That's what I'm not. Me 5-0. Yeah, let me say. If you want to sum me up in a word, if you want to sum 5-0 up in one word, you know what I am? Gladiator.
Listen, youthful. It says just because a woman, youthful says just because a woman approaches. Oh, the comments move so fast. Approaches a man, it doesn't mean she can't be raped. Of course, it doesn't. Of course, it does not mean that.
Hold on. Like I said, this woman.
Let me done, Vibes. Of course, it doesn't mean that, youthful. Okay, we've highlighted that kind of situation many a times on this platform. But when you read the statement, it wasn't just approaching him; it was feeling up his genitalia and being very willing to be led to the toilets to have sex with him. You know, that's
4 security checks.
Just approaching a man.
Past 4 security checks, and also CCTV cameras with the best resolution. It comes right down to face recognition. 4 security checks I had to pass. At any stage, at any level, if this woman would just say, boy, I don't want to be with this man. Oh, he's doing this. At any stage, this person that
was called I Hate Afua has now put I Hate 5-0 Junglers. Can you see how
he hates himself? He hates himself so much. That's what it is. He hates himself.
What an idiot.
No, man, come on. Afua, I'm laughing. Afua, you don't see my laugh. You know yourself smiling. I'm good. Like I said, sister, I'm smiling because my heart smiles. As I said,
I think it might be a certain disgruntled.
No, I'm on here because I want other men. I want to be the first man to be able to say, yeah, I'm going to come on your platform. And I hope there's other men who have been, unjust, accused, an allegation. Women out here weaponizing this rape, sexual assault. They're weaponizing it because they know if the man gets convicted, it means compensation. This is crime.
Certainly from somebody like yourself, it would. But what we also have to point out, Fives, is that the CPS are not very good at picking up rape allegations, sexual abuse, and whatever. But I'm not going by that. Like I said to you earlier, I'm not interested in whether or not the CPS dropped it or anything. I'm going by the evidence that I have seen in all of these statements that do not add up to anything. That's what I'm looking at. The CPS fuck up all the time.
Afua, let me show you this.
In terms of people that should be convicted,
those very same documents that you're in possession of. Like I said, Barrister Chambers read them, the defense reads them, and the barrister and the prosecution had them. 2 barristers, QCs, each QC with 25 years experience, 2 QCs went through the very same document was in your possession. Said, this is no case. This is straight consensual. There is nothing here. And they told their counsel, I don't know why you're bringing this. There's nothing here. Two Queen's Counsel read the very same papers you have with 25 years experience. Queen's Counsel, not your little lawyer or your little solicitor. Queen's Counsel read those very same documentation. And the thing is, yeah, as I said again, if anyone has an issue with the fact that I was exonerated by the British judiciary, this is why I say the British judiciary is the fairest in any part of the world. It is the fairest. Regardless of how anybody feels, it is the fairest. You definitely, if you get convicted, you get a fair sentence to fit the crime. You get a fair punishment that fits the crime. If you're in the United States or other lands beyond, man, it's curtains. It's curtains. As I said, I have been very transparent, nothing to hide, straight up front. And as I said, this is not just for me. I'm just giving you my story.
I just back to know. Somebody says Moose is listening. I don't know who that is. There's somebody called somebody called Earl Austin, but they've not connected their device, so they can't come on. Earl Austin, can you connect your phone and your camera and your microphone? I've seen you, but I can't add you to the live until you do that. So please come back, Earl Austin. Do you know that person?
I'm happy that people are listening.
Earl Austin, do you know them?
That's good.
Do you know Earl Austin?
Who's Earl Austin? I need to see your face. I don't know. I don't get down with names as such.
Somebody called Earl
acquainted like that.
They haven't connected their camera.
I don't get acquainted like that. You can't mean anything to me if I'm not going to be acquainted with you.
Earl Austin.
And I'm always courteous. I'm courteous to everybody. Earl
Austin, when you join the link, the StreamYard link, which I'm going to put up again in a minute, you have to, it gives you an option to connect your camera and your microphone. Can you please do that and come back? Otherwise, I cannot add you to the live. They've tried twice now.
Okay. I'm quite happy that, the viewers that are viewing this and they want to come on and engage. I thank you. I thank you all. Honestly, those who are prepared to come on and engage and be faithful. Thank you so much. Thank yourselves, because you have the courage of heart to come up front and front fiber and speak and ask the questions that you want to ask. And I've got utmost respect for those who are coming forward, not being keyboard warriors, being anonymous, hiding. No, those who are prepared to come up front, who are manning up, real men and women, who are saying, "Well, I want to come online and have, I say what I have to say to fiber." Honestly, thank you. Thank you yourself for taking the time out and having the courage of heart to say that I wanna engage with 50. I'm happy with that. Thank you. I mean that from my heart. I'm thankful. Thank you all. Straight. I'm thankful to all of them. Please do listen. And if you want to engage,
Earl Austin, try again. And there was somebody called Ziba or Zika as well that tried. I don't know if that person was real, but please try again, because it will be interesting to hear the commentary. And it will be interesting to hear from people that disagree or have doubts. Elaine Summers is saying that she has doubts, so come and talk about it to us, sis.
Anyone has any doubts,
and you remember Elaine Summers.
If you have any doubts, as they said,
come up and talk about it. And sometimes when someone is passionate about something, and this is something that affected the brother's life, he nearly died hugely. So he's going to be animated. He's going to be animated. He's going to be passionate. And that might not sit well with people, but I'm sure if you ask him questions, you will get measured responses.
Of course not.
So come up and ask those questions. If not, we'll do that in a more intimate space on a members live.
Afua, animated, that's part of myself. And, I'm the one who had to endure all those emotions, of what hadn't, based on my choice. Based on my choice. As I said to you, I am accountable and culpable, and accountable for my choices and my decision making.
We talked about that, didn't we? I kind of gave you a bit of a browbeat, and I was like, "Rudders, man, how you put yourself in that position?"
Because as I said, it was my choice. It's a woman. It was a choice. It was a grown, fully fledged, grown woman.
I mean, let me just point out as well that this woman is currently 55 years old, and it was 10 years ago. So she's 45 at the time. This was no little girl. Yeah.
So so like I said, you know, for other men who ever gone through anything such as this, you know, there's a football player named Ched Evans. They destroyed this man, the man who headed up the IMF bank before Christina Lagarde took it over. They destroyed him. They destroyed your reputation. And rape and sexual assault is the easiest thing for a woman to call out in a disparaging way. So any woman, they will use it as a weapon. Women who are listening and viewing this know that they can weaponize this. Yo, my mother used to always say to me growing up, boy, me's a woman and I can be as wicked and cold as I want to be.
But Fives, the other flip side of that coin is, yes, it is easy for women to do this, and women do this. That's why your story is important. We want to hear about that. But equally, it's easy for a man to deny it and just say it was consensual.
Hey,
right?
You have all the evidence in front of you.
Yeah, but I've got my evidence. We're not talking about you. I'm putting it out there. You understand? Because there's two sides to this. Not your story, but to the issue of women being raped falsely and men saying that they didn't when they did. That's the balance that we deal with on this platform. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I'm not basing it on any of those things. My judgment is based on all that I have seen here. It's not based on the CPS dropping it, because that happens a lot. When men are guilty, they drop it too. You know, this is something we talk about. 0.8% of rape and sexual abuse allegations make it through the CPS. 0.8%, that's an issue. Do you understand? 1.8% end in a conviction. I'm not basing it on the fact that the CPS dropped it. I'm not basing it on any of those things. I'm basing it on this woman's statement. From what I have seen, it doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? No. What she's saying is a bag of foolishness. There's times when she contradicts herself, and I would have to say, based on that, I'll ask the question again. I think somebody else asked it, but I asked it at the beginning. How could the judge remand you based on this foolishness, which is what your barrister said?
No. As I said earlier, the purpose of one of the things that I believe why I was remanded in custody. Remember, it was the beginning of the London Olympics, 2012. The police were doing like a sweep of every area around, anything near to the Olympic Stadium, whatever crime was committed, whoever's doing what. If he was a robber, if he was a drug dealer, they were doing a clean sweep. If you a TDA man who steals cars and all, they done a clean sweep from south, north, east, west, everyone, because they wanted to make sure this very same Olympics was protected, and it certainly was. And I am talking about at such a high standard. Even where I live, there was missiles on the top of my place. Where I reside, there was missiles at the time.
So it was political for them. You know, this happens in the court system, doesn't it? When they decide to make a decision, they like the one that you've just talked about, they often do this, a kind of blanket sweep of things without considering anything else. It sounds like it was political why you ended up on remand.
You used to be talking about the things on the radio. Remember, you had to talk.
Yeah, because you have to bear this in mind. Like when I was over at Cool FM, I started a show. I started a talk show. The first ever talk show in jungle drum and bass history. And the first show I opened up with, it was called Open Forum. Yeah, which was a talk show. I'm the first that brought that to the jungle drum and bass fraternity, and it was a success. Myself and another colleague of mine at the time, I'm not gonna call his name, he knows who he is. Yeah, and we did this, and we had a good run. We had a good run until some ugly stuff happened in between another set of colleagues in the business. It was ugly, yeah, to say the least, because it showed me that when that happened, there was no unity. It just showed there was no unity. So anyway, I did that one called Open Forum. Then I did a show called Packed Lunch. Then I done a show called Set Up and Get Up. Each and every show was a talk show. I'm not a DJ.
Talk about what you.
There's I spoke of some of the issues that you may touch on, whether it be political, social, science, arts, sports. I covered everything. Listen, one time, Jeremy Clarkson called me up on Call London live. Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson, and the talk was about if cars can be run by water, by H2O water, and that's what it was. And also, can it be run by marijuana, through the oils and all that? So it was a discussion I was having on the thing, and he called up and say no, that can't happen. You're silly, and what the rest of it. So I'm like, all right, cool. Now, I'm gonna call this man. He's a straight loving man. DJ Jinx, going out to Jinx, wherever you are, my brother. Straight love to you, my brother. Unconditional love to you. This DJ, he works at BMW. He's a specialist. He knows about oil and all the rest of it. He was the one who was saying, look, he came on and said, there's a possibility that these things can go. But my point is this, Afua. The talk shows is what I brought forward to the jungle drum and bass scene. And as I said, being the host and being the presenter, as I said, I'm in the firing line. Yeah, and I'm speaking, when I'm speaking, I'm not obnoxious. I'm neither rude. I'm not obnoxious. I'm not facetious. I'm not condescending. I'm not explicit. I'm not derogatory at no step of the way ever since I've ever done talk radio. I know how to conduct myself and articulate myself, especially going out to the masses. And as I said, being black, hey y'all, it's 10 times.
Financial Health 2022 says R50's baby mother's Nubian sister, and they've put something like to say that they wouldn't be absolutely 100% Nubian queens. Absolutely.
Yes. What they ask about my children?
Both your baby mothers, all your children are black. So that's a misconception we can put to bed, okay? Financial Health.
Wakanda for life.
Can you see that comment there? I don't
Wakanda for life.
Yeah.
Yes, they are going into Financial Health 2022. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Beautiful, great women.
Beautiful sisters.
Women who I revere and it's the mothers of my
But
children.
when you're for MC50 and you're out gigging, anything is anything, because that's what the scene is about, really.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like to me.
Listen,
I did admonish you for that. I was like, five, man.
I love my sisters. I don't reject my sisters. I can listen. There's probably people who are watching right now, probably phoning up, WhatsApp and texting people. I can say this right now. There are DJs in my fraternity, and I say this to the viewers and listeners. And if you are a black sister, you're not gonna like what you hear coming from my mouth. And this comes from colleagues and members in my fraternity, who profess to say that I'm not black. I've heard man straight say, yo, listen, I don't deal with black women. I don't deal with black girls. I don't deal with black women.
And you blast them for that, don't you?
Huh?
You blast those guys for that.
I can't say that again, please.
I said you blast those men for saying that.
Dude, first and foremost, where did you come from? Who bought you? Who fed you? Who nurtured you? You look at your own mother. Yeah. Listen, man. When I would say disgusted to say this, but hey, every man has a right to decide his own destiny. You know what I mean? Every man, you know what I'm saying? To choose the right to, however, but to me, that was so disrespectful and so disparaging. And the thing is, he said it in front of them. Like, yo, what you doing?
And Dorette Lewis is right. It doesn't matter the color of the women. Rape and sexual assault is real for every woman. I can cope with that, Dorette Lewis.
Of course it is.
But it's a question that always gets asked in our community. Oh, I bet he loves something, whatever. But we've put that one to bed anyway.
Afua, as I said, I've spoken my story with straight honesty, straight transparency. Anyone who's asked me about anything, and you asked me how did an allegation come up, I said without me never eat. Listen, I never stutter. Me just said yes, it happened. I did not stutter. No one heard me stutter. I said it straight from yes, sir. I can't hide what's in here. You can run from your shadow, no, but you will never catch it. You can't hide what's here. You cannot hide what's here. Listen, I like to sleep good at night, y'all. I don't do things in the daytime. That's going to keep me up at night time. Yeah. And like I said, I've said my story. But as I said, my sister, this is for other men out there. I want them to be encouraged. I want you to be inspired. I want you to be motivated. And I want you to have the confidence and the courage to come on a platform such as Afua to speak your side. It's not a one-way thing. You know, Afua gets slated because, oh, she's anti-men and she's running down man.
Well, I'm racist now because your accuser happens to be a white woman. So now I'm racist. It's just pathetic.
Come on,
and
man.
The other thing that people need to understand as well, like somebody was saying, oh, I thought this platform was for victims. The brother is a victim. He's a victim of a false allegation. And, you know, that's just as damaging sometimes.
Of course.
Because as you said, you've had to go through counselling for depression.
I had to go for counselling.
You nearly died because of the stress of it, because of a stage 3 tumor.
Stage 3 cancer. Stage 3
Does
tumor.
that not make the brother a victim?
That put me in intensive care. My organs had shut down. I was rushed into Homerton Hospital with less than 20% oxygen in my body. Less than 20% oxygen. They wrote me off. Medical side, they said they got my family. Told my sister, told them straight, you know what, you better start making plans for me. That was their word. You better start making plans for him because he's going downstairs to the morgue. He's not coming out of here. And all the time, whilst I'm in there, whilst I'm in that coma state, and I'm in that intensive care, I can't piss, I can't shit, I can't eat, and I can't even scratch a bumper claw itch if I wanted to. I couldn't even scratch an itch. Right.
Sunshine said Black Olive was run off for defending her friend. You see how unintelligent these people are. Black Olive didn't have any type of evidence or anything to look at to make that assessment, apart from the fact that it was her friend. So
whose friend?
If you're going to make comparisons, let them be reasonable comparisons, because you're just chatting foolishness, Sunshine. You really are. This is not just because the brother is my friend. You understand me?
Hey, let's put the friend thing aside. We are based on the facts, yeah. Put the friend thing aside, because this is what people are coming on. Oh, but you ain't his friend, and let's put that aside. Take that out of the equation. Based on the facts and the evidence that's been presented to you, the court of law has seen it. CPS have seen it. Queen's Counsel with 50 years experience have seen it. My barrister seen it. The solicitor seen it. The judge has seen it. What more do you people want? What more? If you have the problem, vote for it. Vote that you don't like what's taking place. Yeah? Rally your constituents. Rally your MP. Get down if you want change. If you don't like. Yeah? I had to fight for my life twice. Yeah? On the allegation and off my deathbed. And I sure them no. Yeah, as I said, you are all welcome to your opinions and your views. That's fine. Like I said, I never had an issue with that.
Nightmare 71, why don't you come on and ask the question yourself?
Why won't they man up and come on themselves?
They never come on themselves.
Listen, can I say this? Don't you be the interpret. Don't be their middleman. If they want to have something to say to me, please come up front. I just said I welcome you.
To the brother.
I welcome you if you come on. I welcome them. I'm saying to them, I welcome them to come on. I'm not, as I said, I welcome them. Please come on. If you really have those sentiments within you, please do come on. I'm thankful. Listen, you don't hear no malice in my voice. You don't hear no content in my voice.
Nightmare 71.
You don't hear that in my voice. I welcome that. Please do come. If you
Nightmare 71, I tell you again, come on and tell us what you know, because we don't know about that.
Please come on.
Foolishness.
Huh? Please submit your evidence. Substantiate your claims. Hearsay, speculation, and conjecture will never get you in the court of law. Please go to any police station right now and say to them, I heard this, I heard that. Go to them. Please.
Some people, 50, are just here for mix up and stir up, and you will never see them. Before we go off a little bit, who were the people, 50? And I want you to name and shame them. If you don't want to, it's fine, but I would like you to.
There should be.
Who were the people? Who were the people? Yeah, who you expected to back you and who didn't, who turned into
Wow.
backstabbers.
Wow.
We want to know.
You know what, Afua, you know what, darling? You see that? That's a fantastic, great question. And you know something? I know they're viewing this and they're thinking, shit, I wonder if he's going to call my name. Let me just, process of elimination. Let's just say this, Afua. Let me tell you about the DJs and the MCs who was open and cool with me. That was process of elimination. I will start with DJ Ash Attack. He showed me straight love. Everson Rat Pack. Lit Master Mark. DJ Uno. MC Melody. Yeah, who straight outrightly. Groove Rider. Fabio. Outrightly when they saw me come home the first time. Embraced me. I said, yeah, fine. Right now, Fabio. Move them, deal with all that. Yeah, 5-0. Groove Rider said to me, GROOVERIDER. Rider said to me, face to face, it's 5. Family, you're one of us, bro. No matter what anybody wants to say, you're one of us. Because you know something, Groove Rider himself went through something of this, like, you know, a few years ago. And they had the man's name all over the place. Want to say disparaging things about this man, the legendary great Groove Rider. GROOVERIDER. The Rider. Please. He went through it. And the whole world knew. The whole world knew. And I heard some fucked up, disparaging, horrible comments about my beloved friend who I love, Groove Rider. It was Groove Rider that made me want to be in jungle. But not in jungle.
So anybody's name that you haven't called are the people that were turncoated against you. I want to congratulate Dorrit Lewis, because I think that's quite a fair assessment, Dorrit. She says that I would never say this man is guilty as I haven't heard his case and jumped on in the middle of the show. I just feel his energy is unsettling. Could be because I'm used to seeing a woman in that seat. And that's probably the reason, Dorrit. I think that's the reason for a lot of people tonight is that they're used to
Why are they unsettled? Why are they unsettled? Why should you be unsettled?
They're used to seeing a woman in the seat, and for some people, it's like a man represents perpetrator, perhaps.
No.
That's what's affecting a lot of people.
No, listen.
That's why it's important to have you on here.
I'm passionate, yeah. And as I said on the show,
Junior Dangerous says you left him out. Junior Dangerous says you left him out. Junior Dangerous,
yeah. Big up man like Junior Dangerous. Yeah, man like Junior Dangerous. Man like Russ Ranger. Man like Russ Demo. Man like Sid Young. Third Eye Records. In my yard productions. Them man, they show me bare love. Straight love, them man, they showed me. And I'm saying who showed me love. So that leaves it as a process of elimination.
R.I.P. Skibaddy.
Skibbity, right. Now Skip, yeah. Big up Skibber. I cannot forget Skibber. Big up Skibber. Big up Skibber. When Skibber first see me come out of the situation, Skibber come and hug me and give me a hug. Skibbity.
Nightmare 71, I'm saying it to you again. He says that you accused, you slept with a promoter's daughter when she was 15 in Germany.
What?
They're not going to come up and say it. They're not going to say
some of the most outlandish, outrageous stuff coming out here.
Yeah. I don't believe that.
Listen, as I said, I just done a process of elimination. Yeah, and if anyone wants to do a research of those who are eliminated, put them to the side. But anyone who's left there, believe you me, they have dealt with this type of stuff.
One Love says it's a very important story about a male victim for a change. It is also a success story because an innocent man was freed and amazingly his health was restored, a living miracle. 100%.
Thank you, One Love. One Love, I can't thank you enough. Big up. And as I said, all of those who came to who supported me, like my sister Angela Lewis over in West London. When I think of those who supported was in my corner, big up Monique. Yeah, all those who's been in my corner. I remember her sister Rebecca. I said, "Boy, 5 will come. Let's get a game face on." Those people who supported me. And the thing is, Afua, here's the thing, and here's the crazy stuff. All of the support and my support person around are all women. My best friend is a woman. My best friend, male friend, I buried him just 12 weeks ago. My best male friend of 50 years. I just buried 12 weeks ago. That's the only true male friend I had in my life for 50 years. He's gone. All my close people to me are all females. All of them. All of them. Because you know why? Women know women. Women will know why there is a liar. Hence why I had a female barrister. I had a female barrister.
You actually asked for a female barrister.
I requested and I stipulated. Let me use the word. I stipulated I want a female rape specialist barrister. That was it. No robbery one, no drug, none of that. No man representing me. And can I just say this? Any man who's been charged or been accused on allegation of the charge of the thing that I was accused of, and if you have a man lawyer representing you, I'm going to say it straight right here on Afua Community Speaks. You are going down. You're going down. Any man right now who may be in custody, who's on bail, and you are facing any such of the things that I had to endure, and you have a male representative representing you, I'll say it straight. You're going to go to jail. You're going to go to prison. Straight. Yeah? Because as I said, women know women. Women know how to ask questions to other women, especially being in the witness box, in the court of law. Many of those who are on run their mouth and talk crap. How many of them would be prepared to ever come into a court setting and stand in the witness box and give a testimony or testify against a defendant? How many would have the heart and the balls to do that? Let me say this. Those of you who've never been in the hands of the authority, praise the Lord that you haven't. Yeah? Praise the Lord that you haven't. Because let me say this to all. If you've ever been in a crown setting, and you are a defendant in the box, or you have to give evidence in the witness box, it is one of the most daunting prospects ever that one has to face. Your heart beats, your mind sharp, you don't get a heart attack. Anyone who's online watching that, who's ever been who's been on trial, as I said, I didn't go to trial. It did not make court. It did not make trial. But anyone who's ever had those vibes, who's been in the court setting, been in the defendant's, been in everything, and just waiting because it's the sheer anxiety, just the unknown. Just the fact of the unknown. That's the thing that gave me the tumor. Just the fact of the unknown. I did not know what was going to happen to me, honey. There was so much at stake for me. If I was convicted, you know what that means? Had they brought any charge and I was convicted, do you know what that means? Sex offender register. I can't go near my grandchildren. I can't be around near schools.
Crazy.
It's so deep. Right? It's that deep. And let me just say this, Afua. Some of them are Jungle Drum-based fraternity, and I could call his name because now he's convicted. Yeah? And this is the thing that pissed me off so much with the Jungle Drum-based fraternity. When I went through just an allegation, nothing to substantiate the claim of rape, nothing to substantiate the claim. As you said, you have all the documentation in front of you. A DJ named DJ Sly, he was one of those also who's pointing the finger at me. Let me show you how karma. See how karma works? Karma's like this. Karma can be like a slow bus, or it can be like Amazon Prime, next day delivery. That's how karma can come. This very same individual, as I said, this is all in relation to what landed me. This is one of the artists within our fraternity of Jungle Drum and Bass who was pointing the fingers at me along with his colleagues. When I saw these guys, and listen, I was going to get the feelers to see who's gonna deal with me and who ain't. And those who snubbed me, I'm happy and glad that I had to go and do that. I had to. I couldn't hear it for some. I said, I'm gonna go out. I've got nothing to fear. I'm out. When who snubbed me, who shunned me, who shouldered me, who called out, I was like, cool. Thank you.
That had to be about what they felt about you before. Somebody called Sunshine is asking, do you know Marcus Nasty? Probably.
I've heard of Marcus Nasty. I've never performed with Marcus Nasty, but as I said, we're in the.
I find it interesting though, because when
I heard of Marcus Nasty. Marcus Nasty does Gary's and all.
I featured Marcus Nasty on this page for being an absolute terrorist when it comes to women.
Well, I'm not here to disclose. I speak about no next man.
Right.
I'm here to speak
what
about
I'm saying is,
no next man. Hey, why you ask?
What I'm saying is, Fives, is that when Marcus Nasty was highlighted, there was a bag of women that came out talking about what he'd done to them. Your picture has been up for a good few days. It says innocent underneath it. I can guarantee you, if there was a bag of women that had made these allegations prior to, they would have been hitting my DMs. I've not had a whisper in my DM since that post went up on Instagram. Not a whisper. There's been no women come forward. You're a prominent person. You're a well-known figure. Where is the women? Where are the victims? That is something that's characteristic of this platform. Any man that I've put up, we get a load of victims coming on the back of that saying, yes, he did it to me. Yes, he did it to me. Yes, he did it to me. That hasn't happened. So whatever this Truth Matters and whoever else is talking their foolishness who won't come and front it, it's a bag of foolishness because those women have not come forward. Where are they?
Where are they?
If
I'm supposed to be this thing, what they describe me to be,
where are they?
As I said,
people know Fiverr. They can come and talk to me in private, in the DMs. I will not reveal their identity. They would be doing that. I have not seen that once.
Afua, like I said, yeah. Serlene, my son's mom, big up my beloved friend and sister. I love her. It was Emma Jane Jennings. Big cornerstone. They come to visit me at Hellmarsh. You know, took this time I come. They was in the courthouse with me. Stood resolute with me. Believe and know now. If I was not about that, I've been around this man. I stayed in this man's home. I've stayed in the hotel. I've stayed in close proximity to this man here. At no time, any woman that's ever felt uncomfortable around me, first thing is, if you're uncomfortable around me, I'm uncomfortable around you. You're making me uncomfortable. I'm stepping. I'm going to make the choice to step. That's me. I'm not hanging it. I'm stepping. Any woman that makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm stepping. And I've always been that way inclined. As I said, women have always been around me from you, from young. Afua, you know my daughter's mother. You can get her on the line and ask me about
your daughter.
And my daughter. Ask me if I ever had any outbreaks with her. Ask me if I ever put my hands on them. No woman. None of the children, mothers of my children. They will tell you straight.
And I know that you're not a rapist in my heart. As I say, the litmus test that I put in place to decide if somebody's speaking the truth or not. And I do the same for the women, because there are women that have tried to come onto this platform by telling lies on a man and they never make it onto this live. Do you understand?
Sure.
If I thought there was any doubt in my mind, I would have said to you, I would have had private conversation with you and said, you know what, Rods? Something is up here. Something is acting up, my brother. And if I found out it was you were lying, your face would go straight up as a perpetrator.
Yeah, sister, as I said, a real friend, a real true friend who really love their people will tell their friend the truth, tell them straight.
Absolutely.
Like you would, like my sister Surly, like my son's mum, like Monique, and all those who are around me, my sister, those would say to me straight, and I would take those checks. Those who I say love me, I take those checks because they love me, they're concerned about me, they care for me. So I will take their checks because they're looking out for me. Yeah. And whenever they give me a check, it's in no malicious type of way. It's always one of love and guidance. And look out, boy, I can see this, but you might not see it. That's the type of love and support base. And like I said,
one of our members, Kay, she asked the question, maybe it started off as consensual. Was you asked to stop at any point? The lady's statement, the woman's statement does not say that she said stop at any time. It basically says she asked you, why did you do that? You say she didn't. Do you understand what I'm saying? But she didn't say stop, and she admits that she did not say stop. Albeit that when it comes on to allegations of rape, a woman doesn't always say stop. Yeah. those are not the things that I'm basing my belief on. And as I said before, for those of you that's just joined, I'm basing my belief on the inconsistencies and some of the impossibilities in this woman's statement. That's what I'm basing my belief of MC50 on. Yeah.
And you know what? As I said, this is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And this is the first ever time that I've spoken on it at length, such as this on your great, beautiful platform. This is the first time ever anyone's ever heard this. No one's ever heard this. What I'm saying here, this is the first ever time. Yeah, and I'm thankful and grateful for giving me this opportunity, because as I said, Afua, you did not seek me out for this story. I brought it to your attention. So contrary to what people want to say in your thing, I brought it to your attention because I asked you. Remember, I said to you, Afua, what was the link? I said, Afua, has any man been on your platform? You said to me, no man has ever been on my platform. And I was like, you know what, Afua?
Well, I said
I'm going to be the first one to come on.
But no man's ever come on to talk about his experience.
I'm going to come on your platform. Yeah, because as I said, this is no longer about me. As I said, this thing is huge and bigger. I have sons. My last son is 21 years of age. You think I don't worry about him? Huh? You think I don't worry about him? Right now, he's got himself a girlfriend, a lovely girl. Nice. My 21-year-old son, cool. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Because I worry for my sons. My daughters, as I said, my daughters, you got their boyfriends and whatnot. And I'm not going to say what my daughter was involved in and what she deals with. Some people know, some people don't. I want him to disclose it. That's neither here or there. Yeah, but no time. Yeah, I'm just happy that my children are of age, and I'm just. Yeah, but you have daughters yourself, Afua. You wouldn't want to know that someone assaulted your daughter or someone accused your son. You're not gonna feel good about that, especially as I said, being charged and based on a lie, being put in custody. I did not get. There's no custodial sentence to all the viewers, because you need to get this shit out your head. There was no custodial. I was on remand for 7 months.
Well, there wasn't even a trial, was there?
There was no trial.
And just for the record, people, I'm just doing it right now on my phone. When you Google MC50 rape allegations, there's only one. So Nightmare 71 yet again, he's come out of timeout. I just put him in timeout. Has said that there's been multiple ones over the decades.
So put them up then.
We cannot see them. I've got my phone out.
Bring it, substantiate.
Bring it forward. And
bring it forward. Substantiate what you are saying. If you cannot substantiate what you're saying,
you're giving him too much airtime.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? It's true. We are giving this idiot a clown too much. He's a court jester. Let's move this on anyway. Let's move because we've got time for clown.
And also, what I find interesting when you put in the Google search, it's just it's like a kind of music blog. That's the only thing that comes up, because it wouldn't have been in the papers. It wasn't a conviction. It
did go to trial.
It's a music vlog, and it's somebody that clearly doesn't like you. That's the only thing that comes up when you Google it.
Okay, so why? And as I said, to follow on, as I said, here's the thing. What we got about the fraternity of jungle, drum and bass. This brother DJ Sly is convicted, of sexual assault and rape. I'm not sure what he was sentenced to. Now, this very same man, as I said, who's pointing the fingers at me along with his colleagues, there's man who went to school with this man. There's man who MC'd for this man here. Yeah, I want to say big up man like Palmer the Charmer. See, Shada D, man, you hear me? Palmer the Charmer, the only man getting any credence from me. Big up to man like Trigger, because when I saw MC Trigger, when Trigger saw me on site, he was very open and very loving up to me. Also, MC X-Man. Yeah, when X-Man saw me, X-Man was like, yeah, fine, one guy. X-Man showed me pure love. So those artists who I call that, as I said, it's a process of elimination. Those who had me, if I never called their name, they never had my back. Simple as that. Big up my brethren DJ Once. Big up DJ Rapid Tim. My brethren Tim Rapid. Inform me first. Link me. Try to get hold of me. I took a hiatus and a sabbatical because the enormity and the impact, especially with the cancer, I was off the radar completely. I had to take myself off the radar because of the health concerns.
To kind of cleanse, right?
Of course, detox and cleanse.
Sunshine, sorry to cut you again, brother. Sunshine says if it was reported, it would be in his government name, not his stage name. I've just put his government name, full government name in there, and it comes up with a load of American hits. So you lot chat rubbish. These are your haters.
Afua, please put my previous convictions, all my criminal history on.
We're going to do that on a member.
Please do that. Yeah,
we're going to do that on a member.
I say this: those who have got criminal history, none. I won't say none of you. I don't know how many you've got the heart, because I could put as I said, I could stand tall on my team. Miss Afua Rose, Community Speaks, has my full deposition papers, right down to my criminal record, which, the whole world's seen it. Afua will post this. You will see my previous charges for any crime that I committed. Yeah, and as I said, I admitted to those crimes.
It's all petty foolishness.
I admitted to those crimes. I didn't try to go not guilty on none of those things I was convicted for. Right. I openly admit those things, and I went to prison based on, yes, it was me. I did commit that crime, and I'm owning up to it. That's what I done. I didn't even try to contest it.
Hummingbird says, why did Jungle Scene give him a hard time when there was no conviction? Because they're haters.
Because of jealousy. And like I said, this clearly shows it has nothing to do with the allegation. It's more showing that they had these sentiments up around me, and from a long time, could have been 20 years, 30 years, I don't know. They had those sentiments around me, want to be around me, want one weed with me, when I bust off champagne and all them things, want drink out to my buckle and all them things. Oh, Fibo, can you get me in the dance? Oh, Fibo, can you put me on the guest list and all them things? Boy, Fibo can't get in, big back up, come get me in. Yeah. And I never beg a man. I'm not asking for nothing. And I said, my heart's like, that's how my heart is, isn't it? If I'm loyal, my love for you, my Lord, I'm gonna be loyal with you, man. That's me. I know about loyalty. Let me just say this: blood does not make family. You know what makes family? Loyalty. Loyalty. They say blood is thicker than water. You know what's thicker than blood and thicker than water? Loyalty.
And the other thing I want to point out as well, Fives, is we've put up the face of the accuser. We've tagged her brother in it, and not one of them have come forward to defend anything.
Did you know why?
That is very telling for me.
You know why they tell you, Afua? Like you said on the intro, that woman, Michelle Jones, her brother was in the Bedford Constabulary.
That's right.
Bedfordshire Constabulary, you know, supposed to be upholding the law. In an event, his sister is asking him for paraphernalia, synthetics, asking for synthetics and pharmaceuticals, her brother, in this event, saying they're getting off their nut. So they clearly had the intentions of coming out to do what they said they come to do.
Well, listen, we know that feds do all kinds of nasty stuff. What's more significant for me is the fact that the brother didn't want anything to do with the case as a fed.
That's his sister. If that's your sister,
and they were actually quite racist people as well. He would have done.
That's his sister, yeah. And he's
to try to nab you as a black man, most definitely.
As I said, Miss Afua Rose, they come 18 months later and took me off the street on Bethnal Green Road. They didn't have the courtesy or the respect to come to my yard. On the road, you know. Yo, you know what that made me feel? It felt like I was a slave up with some slave catchers. That's what it made me feel like. Coming like some slave catchers was putting out their hounds and we captured this man here. Yeah, that's exactly how it felt. Yeah, yes, I'm emotive at this period of time because that's exactly what happened. Of
course, you're emotive. And people are also being sidelined.
People don't question about my emotions. Yeah, don't question me about. I'm saying, I know how to conduct myself and I know how to articulate myself. When I'm speaking and I have the emotional passion, it's because it happened to me. It invokes some of those horrible things. You think I'm trying to relive what I had to endure? You think I'm trying to relive that? I'm bringing forth this story, and it's done and dusted because it's clarification. It's not an explanation. It's a clarification. We're clearing all this, putting this to bed.
Actually,
We're
yes.
not putting it to come
All About the Black is
no.
asking what made it was 18 months, by the way, All About the Black. We don't know why 18 months later she came back. There's no real motive to it. It just happened.
Listen.
Like you said, she was coerced into saying it by somebody else. I believe that.
My barrister said this, Afua. My barrister said, she looked at it and she said to me, 5-0, Rodney, hear what? This here is straight consensual. I told the CPS, if they try to bring you to trial on this, I am going to make, she's not going to cry a river, she's going to cry out ocean. She's going to ball out, she's going to cry out ocean up in that witness box when my barrister done with her.
It's really funny. Queen B says Emmett Till comes to mind. That's exactly
Queen B,
what I
that's my sister, all type D.
That's exactly
all
what
type
I'm
sister
talking
D.
about,
I'm a sister in that. I'm a sister in that.
Queen B.
Type Queen B. Oh, yeah, run it red.
Oh, okay.
One type run it red.
That's one of the
One
first
type
things I
Queen B.
said
You
to
don't know. Yeah, run it
We're
red.
getting sidelined. Let me tell you something about MC50. He's idiosyncratic. The fan, you know, the animated gestures. People seem to be getting sidelined by that. Even people that are regulars in here. Because you're a man as well, there seems to be a lack of empathy. I'm actually quite disappointed.
I don't need empathy from them. I don't need that empathy because the empathy that I needed, I got from the Lord God Almighty when I was in intensive care in a coma. Yeah, I don't need no empathy. No one could save me when those positions. When I was in that position of this allegation, for all the people who's on my Facebook said they're my friend, not one of them come to my aid. Let me say this to all some of those out there who are saying these things. You've got people around you who you call friends. See, friends, Friends. Do you know why it's called friends? Because friends always what? Ends. That's why it's called friends. Friends. Ends. Cut. Gone. That's the definition of friends. And as well as this, people are coming on, as I said, it's talking about this and that. Like, they're speaking as though they know the law. Before I come off this platform and before we shut down, here's a question I'd like to ask all of the viewers. That word laws, the full definitive context of the meaning of that word laws. If anyone could come on before we end this program and tell me and tell us and say to the world the full definitive name of its full context. Laws. LAWS. Please. If you can put that together, you're great. Anyway, as I said, Afua, this is not for me. My story's been told and my story's out there to the world. I just want any man out there right now saying, boy, you know something? Boy, I'm in love with go upon that thing and go talk like 5-0, you know. Because certain things happen to me. I know there's probably men out there sitting there feeling like that, boy, you know something, boy, 5-0, boy, I have to give it to you because, you know, you got the courage. Of course, I'm a gladiator. I'm in the arena, ready to do battle anytime, any day, any time zone. I am a gladiator. That's 5-0. I'm ready to do
before we wrap up, Fives, what's the moral of the story for you?
The moral of the story is this. Whenever you're making a choice in life, be accountable for it. When you make a decision, you follow it through. To all men out there, and I'm gonna say this, I would like to say this to the women. Women, please stop weaponizing this thing against men because it's hurting you. Yeah,
some women, 5-0, because many people on this platform watching are survivors of sexual abuse.
No, I'm saying, but listen, but there are women on your platform. Yeah, there are women on your platform. They know deep down. Like I said, all the great teachers come from a woman, my mother, my grandmother. Those teachers come from my mother and my grandmother and all my aunts and all these great women who's been in my life. How I'm speaking, this comes from them. This is what a representative of myself.
But we know you, innit? A lot of people here don't know you.
Like I said, there are people who know me and there's people who know of me. There is a distinction between the two. Absolutely. You know me, Afua. Surly knows me. We've gone with shared stuff. You know me. Those who know of me, you only know of me on the weekends. You only met me on the weekends. That's the only time you know a 5-0. When you come to an event.
Thank you. Like people like Nightmare 71 who's chatting rubbish. Brotherhood admitted that he's used drugs in the past. We all know that, but he's never been a cat. So chat. Listen, let me tell you something. The same way that when a woman comes onto this platform to share her story, I'm not having anybody downgrade them, disbelieve them, have them up like they're anything less than.
What's his name? What's his name?
Way that this brother is going to be treated. So you lot stop your foolishness. Otherwise, I will ban you from this station.
Apple, what's his name?
I'm not having it. Nightmare 71. It's a regular. They always come.
Nightmare 71. Here you say I smoke crack. I admit
he says he has the fan because he's always sweating because he's a cat, bro.
Here what? Let me say. The fan is a theme. The glass is a theme. Remember,
idiosyncratic.
What I do is not who I am. What I do is entertain.
Absolutely.
The name of the game is called what? Show business. You've got the show. I've got the business. I'm bringing my business to the show. So, as I said, when I went on a TV course and all the rest, you have to make yourself totally different from the rest of the pack.
I think people wanted to see you vulnerable tonight. They didn't want to see this.
Vulnerable. Yeah, the time for me to be vulnerable is when I was in intensive care with my life. When my life was just on the line. That was the only time for me to have to fear. I wasn't even in fear. I could not be. To be honest with you, Afua, even when they said to me, "You don't have much. You only got 20 minutes of life." That's what they said to me in intensive care. Do you know?
Sorry to cut you. When you told me the story, you certainly didn't have a fan and you had tears in your eyes. That's what I know. When you
I told had tears in my eyes, man. Yeah. Come on, sis.
We don't have to see the brother broken down. Men and women express themselves different. There's women that's come on here very strong and very up forthright, and there's women that's come on vulnerable. I just think there's a lot of bias there tonight because you're a man. That's what I think.
As I said, I'm happy to be on this platform, and I've been man enough, courageous enough, truthful enough, and transparent. To come on your platform and I'm able to speak with conviction, with heart. No one can ever challenge this. Nobody. Hear what you want to say. You're entitled to your opinions and your views, but know this: you will never ever knock me off my perch. And let me leave you with this. To all you haters, I'm going to leave you with this. And this comes from my mother. I said it to you the other day, Afua. To all you haters, I'm not going to curse you out, but I'm going to say this. I don't wish any ill on no one out here. Yeah, but let me say this. In the words of my mother, Mrs. H. For all you haters, as my mother said, shit, I'm going to wash you, and piss, I'm going to rinse you up. Yeah? I'll leave it like that. Yeah? All right. And I'm done.
We believe you. And you know what, brother? I will say there's been nearly 600 people watching tonight, and it's only really about 4 individuals.
Hey, man, it's cool, man. Let them have their fun. Let them have their fun.
What percentage is that? Anyone that's good at maths, tell me how much percentage that is.
I'm fine. No. Honestly, Afua, I'm so grateful that we're having this Friday night light show. I really am, and I'm thankful to you for what you are doing.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's a women's platform, and this, honey, as I said,
it's a victim's platform.
I brought the story to your attention. You didn't seek me out to try and get to a story on your thing. What you do, you cover your own stories. People bring them to you. I brought mine to your attention as a man, as a male, because I asked you, has any man or male ever been on your platform? You said to me, no. Not one is prepared to come up, and they come up. They're out here. Well, me this, me that, and not one of them had the heart.
We've got a troll that likes to commentate and criticize whatever I do. His name is Steve Bionic from Brixton. Everyone knows about him, Chatty Patty Steve, and he's always saying like, "Yeah, what about?" He was wrongly accused as well, apparently. So in his head, every woman that comes on here is his accuser.
So why doesn't he come on and give his account?
All the women aligned. Why doesn't he come on?
What's his name?
Is what we're saying. No, he just stays and criticizes the platform and says that we're not about showcasing people like yourself.
Like I said, my beloved sister, there's probably a plethora of men right now who are going through this ordeal psychologically, damaging. Look at mental health today. Look at mental health. You think making an allegation or accusation against a man, what psychological damage it does to a man? He's not even him. Think of people like Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, Mike Tyson, Tupac Shakur. Look at
It
this. Look at
damages
this.
your
Look at
career, your standing in the community, your relationships, everything.
relationship-
And one of the other significant things that it does is it lessens the chances of real allegations of women that have been raped. That's one of the significant things that it does as well. It is a disgusting act. It is
Of course it is.
evil.
It's a despicable act.
It is the flip side of being a rapist.
It's
To
a
me,
despicable act.
I see it as two halves of the same coin. You know, a woman that accuses a man of such a terrible thing as rape. Do you
Man,
understand? It's the flip side of a man who rapes. I see them as two halves of the same coin. It's the same level of wickedness in my mind.
you know, Afua, as I said, my beloved sister, I'm so thankful for you. As I said, for you, allow me to be able to bring forth this story to your platform. As I said, this is now far surpassed me. I just hope this encourages other men who, right in this very minute, some of you may be in the Iron Curtain, being accused. I know of men who have been wrongly accused. Some of them have been convicted. Horrible, and especially what they had to go, especially when you're in the Iron Curtain. You can't be in GP. You can't be in GP. I was in GP, general population. Those that keep coming up are piping up. As I said again, most of you have never been in a police station, let alone a police cell. A great deal of you would shit your pants if you was in a police cell. You shit your pants, yeah? When you're in a room. If you've ever been in a police cell, come and give us a description. Give it to Afua if you've ever been in one, yeah? If you've never been in a police cell, let alone the Iron Curtain, and I ain't talking Russia here or Ukraine. I am talking jail. Jail. The acronym for jail means this: just another inmate lying. That's what jail means.
That's what they say inside, yeah.
Yeah, not inside, but that's the acronym. And before you go, Afua, as I said, I ask people for the term, the full definitive name of the full context of the word laws. I'll say this. Let me leave it. Laws going to the viewers of Afua Rose Community Speaks. Laws. Please write this down. LAWS. The full definitive context, its full meaning of that word, laws, stands for legal arm of white supremacy.
I like that one.
It's true. That's what laws are. That's what it is.
Proud Mama, I think Proud Mama that says, yeah, Proud Mama says, well, all the proof has been laid bare, sliced and diced by the court of law, and he has been vindicated.
Proud Mama, they're not business.
End of story. They don't care. They just want their own narrative.
The court of public opinion. Unfortunately, for you haters, the court of public opinion is not the law. You can't go into the court.
Yeah, but you know what, brother? I would say that they're in the minority because, as I said, there's been nearly 600 people watching tonight, and there'll be lots more that have. Once I end the live, it gives me the full kind of analytics of who was on it. It's usually up to about 1,000 people.
I'm here with you.
And it's been numbers. People. I don't even think that's how much percentage is that.
I'm not here for the numbers, Sister. I'm not concerned about the numbers.
It's negligent the amount.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the numbers, Sister. I'm here to put forward my truth of exactly what happened. We've presented with the facts and the full transcript and evidence what you had in front of you. As I said, the court of law had this, the judge had it in front of it,
the court of
public
opinion,
CPS. Yeah,
the court of public opinion in this live has been vastly in your favor.
I don't want to be. It's not a favor thing. Please, ladies, those who are viewing, this is not a favor thing. This is about a just thing.
You know?
This is about a just thing. Justice. This is about a favor. This is about justice. Standing for truth and rights. Just. What is just?
Yeah.
That's why we are here having this debate, myself and yourself, sister.
And 10 years after the fact.
Not favors.
10 years after the fact as well. 10 years. You didn't have to come forward after 10 years to speak this. You could have laid it to bed.
It has been laid to bed. But there are people out there who, when I go out in the social capacity, especially when I go to a jungle drum and bass event, and I see after 10 years, they're actually the same people who snub me and shun me. They want to try to come to me and want to say, "You are 5-0. You crazy? Are you for real? Yet you want to come to me?" First and foremost, Anybody who wants to speak to me, speak with me, or engage with me, and you said disparaging stuff about me, yeah, have it in your heart to say, you know what, Fives, well, I was wrong, I was wrong,
Have the humility to do that.
And I'll be like, you know what, cool, fine, that's all right. I'm not gonna while out. That's not me. I'm not putting myself in any intensive care just based on emotions and based on that. I'm not doing it. If they want to be upfront and apologize, I'll openly and accept that. If they're like 5-0, something, boy, I was wrong, I was wrong for thinking those things about you. I'll be like, cool, man, don't worry about it. It's no damage done. The damage has already been done. The damage has already been done.
Absolutely.
Like I said, Afua, I'm great at this juncture of my life. I'm with a great team. Britain's Got Reggae. Every promoter shunned me and snubbed me. It was my sister, Surly, City Link Up, Britain's Got Reggae, Braveway, who started on a vacuum, on a void, doing her City Link Up and her Britain's Got Reggae. She said, boy, Fives, here, what now? Boy, I'd like you to be my host and my compare. Surly will tell you, I had 2 knee ops and I'm on stage with my crutches, just come out of having operation on my knee. Surly will confirm this. I'm on crutches, carrying out what that I love to do. I don't like what I do. I love what I do. I love what I do. And I said, yes, I'll be animated. Listen, y'all, this is life. This is the spirit. This is the energy. Don't be misconstrued with my animation.
That's right.
Don't misconstrue that, because I have a living energy in me. I have a living live entity in me. What makes me respond this way? This is not me. This is just a representation of Jah. Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
And on that note,
don't misconstrue my energy and my animation of, oh, look at him being animated. Yo, it happened to me.
yeah.
Until something. Yeah. Of course I'm emotional, because as I said earlier, it invokes things in me. And now that we have clarified this, it's going to get put to bed. This is done and dusted. Today, is it 8th? The 8th of September?
9th. Well, it's the 10th now. We've been going a long time.
We're done and dusted. As I said, I'm going out to all the viewers. Thank you ever so much for your viewing time and taking time out to actually engage and see, get the full true transparency and the true full clarity of the whole thing. As I said, it's a clarification, not an explanation. I know there's people on there watching. I know there's people on there shitting their pants, thinking, oh my God, what's 5-0 going to say? I can say anything that I want to say.
Absolutely.
I can say anything I want to say. Because I can stand tall on my team. Say, I've admitted. Right? Please show your previous conviction. All those previous convictions you have there, please post them up. Everything was on my previous conviction I admitted to.
As
so
I say,
I'm guilty.
As I say, I'm going to talk to you, see when you're available, and we're going to do a members only live. You're going to find it's a very different energy.
Sure.
And we can actually post those things up there at that point. I might post 1 or 2 things on Insta or on the community wall here. But you know what? I feel that it's more of an intimate thing. I really do. Not everybody needs to see your convictions. And at the end of the day, I can verify
it's public record. It's public record. They can go find it. It's public record.
I know.
They can easily find it.
But really, what is it? Selling a bit of weed, driving offences, the usual.
I had one thing. 2 of my charges are for weed importation. Come back from yard, couple kilo, and I went into court, to Manchester Crown Court. The judge said, "Boy, is it you? Anybody else involved?" The police are asking me, "Who's involved? Are you some racketeer?" I'm like, "Listen, y'all. I packed the weed. I packed it, put it together, and I bought it over." When I got arrested at Manchester, we did what I think. I got bail because it's weed. And when I went to court, to Minshaw Crown Court in Manchester, the judge said, well, and I said, "Yeah, Your Honor, it was me. It was all me." You know what the judge said? For you know something? The judge said to me, "The mere fact that you don't even have much previous conviction, you've never been in trouble for the last 40 years. I don't know why you did such a thing." The judge said to me in the case, in the Crown setting, he said to me, "The fact that I don't even really want to send you to jail because you've never been involved, but because of the nature of the charge and the quantities involved, I have to give you a custodial. But I hear what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to give you an 18 months custodial sentence. You are going to serve 9. But you know something? You're not going to serve 9. You're going to serve this lot here in Strange Way. Then you're going to go to a DCAT, which was Sudbury. Big up D-Ray and all them man, them, Rocket Ronnie. DCAT, yeah. After my come out from my DCAT, I come home and I was under home arrest with a tag. I was tagged. And I came
Nothing major, my brother. Nothing major.
At all.
That's what we'll show.
I'm happy to add my previous convictions posted. It is public record.
Not a problem.
Everybody can find it. Anybody and everybody can find it if they wish.
And on that note, bro, we're gonna cut it.
We've
been, we're well over time now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, my sister. Thank you, my beloved sister. Honestly, you're doing a wonderful, great thing. You've got a fabulous platform. You're giving people, the opportunity and exposure so they can actually bring forth their sentiments and what's made them feel away. And like I said, more importantly, Afua, your platform, as I said, especially to men, please, please, please come to her, come to Afua's platform. She's fair and impartial. Look, I'm on here not just based on the fact that she's a sister and a friend to me. I said take the friend factor, the friend equation out of this. I come forth and brought this story to Afua. I brought it to her. And
big up Serline for making the link,
Yes, man, Miss Serline City Link up Britain's Got Reggae. Yeah, don't forget Britain's Got Reggae now.
Sister, 100%.
You mean what? Serline City Link up Britain's Got Reggae. How you mean? How you mean? No. Those who love reggae music, come join in. All right, man, we've got some live auditions, outer and international online.
And actually, I want to formally ask you, my brother, if you will come and perform at the march on the 16th of October for us. Do us a little something.
What's that?
If you're free. If you're free.
Yeah, we'll talk off camera because you know some. Because I know how deep you may be, and like we've had some off-screen talks and like.
We'll have an off-screen talk.
It's you, sister.
But I know you're going to be supporting the thing, Fiver.
Yeah, man. As I said, I've got. As I said, I was speak my truth and speak.
I'm putting it on you. I'm putting you on the spot.
I know you are.
Because we don't have any men supporting us. Even if you don't come and whatever, I know you're going to come up and at least provide.
I'm supporting you, my sister. I'm supporting you, my sister, and whatever comes with it, I'm happy to. I'm cool. Remember, my first approach. I'm supporting you, sister. You. That's who I'm supporting because I'm loyal to you. I'm not loyal to the march or whatever. I'm loyal to you. I'm coming on the proviso on the basis on you because I love you. You love me. I'm coming for you.
Okay, I hear you.
That's what I'm coming for. I'm coming for you.
Talk off camera about it. Can everyone hit the like button? Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, please. That really helps to share the video. I really want this to get out as a message to other brothers. This is not just about the women. We want to hear your stories about being wrongly accused. Yeah, you're going to have to come and show us how you've been wrongly accused in the same way that the women that accuse men of it have to show us how this is legitimate. Don't think for a minute that we allow women to just come on and run up their mouths and we haven't seen any kind of evidence. We had a little period or an era a few months ago where we were starting to show a little bit of the receipts that we see. You've been really open and you want your receipts shared. Not every woman wants
I want my receipts shared. I got nothing to hide. I want the whole world to see
receipts before we allow people on the platform. That's what people need to realize on here. We always see receipts.
I want the whole world to see it. I've got nothing to hide.
If there's a lack of receipts, what we then see is collaboration. We ask to speak to other people around that individual that can collaborate. That's it. So my brother,
thank you, my beloved sister. I had a great evening. No, thank you. No, Afua, thank you so much. As you said, I'm leaving with a smile. I'm leaving with a smile, with my heart smiling. I'm ever so grateful, and I feel inspired. I feel lifted. Just doing this show, I really do. I feel good within. I feel so good within to be able to bring this forward and bring it to the world and bring it to the men who's been wrongly accused and those who's been unjust. And I want please, men, young men, all men. Come forward. You have a story. Yeah. You're going through stuff, and it's having a detrimental stuff on your mental health. Men, please do it because I know there's men that jumping up building, slashing their wrists, putting guns to their head, overdosing on pills because of an allegation. based on the allegation. Men are out there suffering hard. Like I said to you, mine just one story. Like I said, from remand to an allegation led me to intensive care, coma. That's what it's from.
There's people that have killed themselves, hanged themselves. They couldn't take the jailhouse.
So all those men right now, please,
so
please.
There's a whole conversation to be had, my brother, about that. And I do hope that there are men that come forward with this.
Please come forward, men.
I had a brother that was telling me about his really toxic baby mother that stopped him seeing his children. This was on the back of me posting my child's father and whatever. And I was like, come on and tell us about it. That person who does that woman who stops the man from seeing his child, who makes up lies about him. Of course, there are women out there like that. There's sisters out there like that. We want to know about them because a wrong'un is a wrong'un is a wrong'un. Where I come from.
Straight.
Understand me? It's just the fact that we started out talking about the plight of women, and we will continue to do that. That will continue to be the focus on this platform, but that doesn't mean we're not open to hearing the plight of other people that have been victims of these heinous things. And on that note, my brother, bless you,
my sister.
You know we're going to hook up. And blessed love to Sally.
Thank you so much. Thank you for a wonderful evening, a great Friday night lights, one of the best Friday nights of the 2022 year. I'm straight, and I've done it without smoking weed.
Bless you, my brother. Bless you,
bless my beloved sister. Thank you. Love every time, sister. Love up. Thank you.
Yes. So there you have it. Somebody called Sensi saying Afua Rose, tell him to DJ before he goes. No, I don't think so. I think you're gonna have to work a bit harder for that. Unfortunately, that's not the time for it. So yes, people, love, blessed love. 50, stay in the studio. I think he's got his finger up. Stay in the studio, 50. I know you can hear me, and we'll have a quick chat afterwards. But my brothers and sisters, it has been absolutely mammoth. Thank you all to all of the moderators that have worked really, really hard tonight. Blessed love, Paula, all about the Black Lioness, Keats, Rima Truth, everybody. Blessed to my sister in It's Me SP, Melrose, everyone that's in here tonight that's regulars. Blessed love to you all. And I will see you again next week. We've got a really important story coming up next week. We're going to go back to, the usual format. But it is a really, really important story. So please tune in next week, my brothers and sisters. It's been another mammoth one. It always is when it's deep and passionate and truthful. So I will see you next week on Afua Speaks Community Conversations. Blessed love.